I was talking this whole time and wasn't even Lord. Hey, y'all. Oh, God, thank you so much for coming, guys. I wanna thank everybody for their well wishes and prayers. I feel so much better. I do still have a little bit of a cough, but that's, like, the last part of a cold, and so I may cough here and there. I will press mute if I start coughing. But other than that, I feel great. My fever is gone. I'm not sneezing. I'm not as congested as I was. I was able to get some sleep. I went to the dentist today. So my mouth is clean from all of those germs that were harboring in there. Otherwise, I feel amazing and I'm so glad that you guys are on here with me tonight. Hey, John. I'm gonna shout y'all out real quick. John, hey, thank you so much for coming. I'm looking forward to your humor tonight. Bama Green Eyes, thank you so much for coming. I know you've been waiting on me to do a live, and I appreciate you so much for praying for me. I feel so much better. Thank you so much. Hey, Sprinkle Cake, good to see you. And Bob Kitten, is also great to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. Um, so I want to do a couple of things tonight. I do want to go over the court commissioner, his role in Darrell Brooks being released on that cheap bond. I want to go over what a pretrial risk assessment looks like, the various parts of it. Play a couple of videos and then probably some comment diving. Also, I am going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up and join me. You do not have to cam up. I'm not camming up tonight. You don't even have to use your real name. You can use, whatever you want as far as your little name down here. So if you just want to add anything to the conversation or whatnot, I just ask that you keep it respectful. I don't mind a few cuss words here and there, but don't be vulgar, be respectful of yourself and each other. And we're just gonna have a good time. I think I can go about an hour and a half to 2 hours tonight. So, just let me know, how y'all feel. Yes, let me see. A hot toddy. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me tell you real quickly. So, let me see, Thursday night after I ate, about 10 minutes later, my throat got really scratchy and then I got congested. And so I laid down and then I just got a fever. It was like it just fell on my body. And so I went to bed. But Friday, I had this fever all day. My bed was burning. And every time I would sneeze, I would get this acid bubble in my throat. Oh God, because I already have GERD anyway. And so when you have a buildup of mucus, I know this sounds gross, but when you have a buildup of mucus, it agitates and exacerbates the GERD, and so I was just going through it. So I can't even do any hot sauce, John, but hot toddies do work, and I did, do a hot toddy yesterday, and it knocked the majority of it out. So I am gonna do a little something before I go to bed, so thank you for that. Those do work wonders. Alright, I'm not gonna hold anybody up, because I don't want nobody on here talking about, "Oh, she talked too much, get to the point," even though it's my channel and I could do what I wanna do. But, hey, whatever. Okay, so by now we already know that Darrell Brooks was let out on a $1,000 bond for using his vehicle as an assault weapon against Erica Patterson. But before that, we also know that he was arrested because he committed three felonies. One, um, shooting a weapon at his nephew. And so the background story to that particular arrest was that he was arrested July 2020 and he was assessed a $10,000 bond. Okay. He was arrested and charged with three felonies. In Wisconsin, they have a law that if you are unable to make bail, um, and if a judge, how did it go? I wrote it down. Hold on, I have my notes. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Hold on, just hold on. Where the heck did I write it down at? Okay, here it is. I have it. Bail can only be denied up to 60 days. Okay. So remind you, he was in there from July to August, and then that's not even 60 days, but they reduced his bond down to 7,500 due to COVID. Their court was backlogged, all this jazz. And the DA said that his office was short staffed, and so his trial was set for February 2020 because there was already a jury trial taking place. Okay, so now we jump to May of 2021. Darrell Brooks, okay, got his somebody to help him realize, or his lawyer either told him, "Hey, if we go and ask the judge for a speedy trial, we have to demand for a speedy trial. They know that they can't give us a speedy trial because, COVID, they're still backlogged or whatever. I can get you out." And that's just what happened. He asked for a speedy trial. In Wisconsin, if a speedy trial can't be granted within 90 days, they have to be released. Now, Wisconsin only allows for cash bail. So it went all the way down to $500. Okay. And then he was released. Okay. What y'all talking about? Pineapple juice, pickle juice. No, John, no. No. I can't have any of that. My GERD will go crazy on me. I can't, unfortunately. I can do like a little bit of pineapple juice, like a teaspoon, but I can't drink it um like in a glass or anything like that. Absolutely not, John. No. Okay. Now I don't recall something. Was it $1,000 his mama had to pay or just a 10%? So no, in Wisconsin, they don't honor the 10% bail policy. They have where they assess you a bond and it has to be a cash bond. And that's it. So either you have it or you don't. They don't honor the 10%. So his mom got him out on $1,000 um bond. And I'm getting ready to get to that in a few minutes. Hey Debbie, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Okay. So in Wisconsin, the way bail is determined is they look at your previous criminal record, they look at the severity of the charges, they look at the attendance at previous court dates and your ability to post bond. So he didn't have no $10,000. His mama didn't have it. Okay. And so eventually they knew we can't keep him here for too much longer. We got to let him go. It's overcrowding. We're backed up. And that's how he got out on the $500. So I hope that catches everybody up. Okay. Um, I want to read an article before we start to talk about this situation with Erica and this $1,000 bill that his mom was able to put up on his behalf. So this is from the actual district attorney. He released a statement after the massacre. Give me one second. I want to read everything related to that before, I go off on my tangent. about how they messed up. Okay, I hope you can see it. So this was written on November the 22nd from the district attorney's office. It says below is the summary of pending charges against Mr. Darrell Brooks. On July 27th, 2020, the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office, the DA's office, issued 2 counts of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. So remember, July 2020 is a case with his nephew, okay? Second-degree recklessly endangering safety and felon in possession of a firearm in case that's the case number. Cash bail was originally set at $10,000 and subsequently reduced to $7,500. Unlike some states, Wisconsin requires payment for the full amount of bail set in any criminal case. On February 9th, 2021, the state was prepared to proceed with a scheduled jury trial. Mr. Brooks was still in custody on this matter and previously made a demand for a speedy jury trial. Because another jury trial was in progress before the same court, the defendant's demand for a speedy trial could not be met. The case was adjourned and bail was reduced to $500, which the defendant posted on February 21st, 2020. Isn't that his birthday? When is his birthday? I could have sworn that was his birthday. Okay. So on November 5th, 2021, the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office issued against Mr. Brooks charges of second degree recklessly endangering safety, felony bell jumping, battery, obstructing an officer, and disorderly conduct. The most recent case against Mr. Brooks was appropriately charged. The state made a cash bail request in this case of $1,000, which was set by the court. The defendant posted $1,000 cash bail on November 11th, resulting in his release from custody. The state's bail recommendation in this case was inappropriately low in light of the nature of the recent charges and the pending charges against Mr. Brooks. The bail recommendation in this case is not consistent with the approach of the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office toward matters involving violent crime, nor was it consistent with the risk assessment of the defendant prior to setting bail. The office is currently conducting an internal review of Lord, I can't talk, of the decision to make the recent bail recommendation in this matter in order to determine the appropriate next steps. Now, y'all, I'm getting ready to tell you right now, this letter is full of shit. Okay. They're basically saying that they don't typically, hey, is this Fee? Did you change your name? Hey. Okay. Um, they're saying that they don't typically set bail that low for violent crimes. And I'm getting ready to show you how they lie. Okay. So, of course, you know me, I'm going to find all the articles I can and try to piece them together. So, we're going to look at who the commissioner is for Milwaukee. We're going to focus specifically on Milwaukee because the court commissioner, along with the DA, said that they did not have access to Darrell Brooks' criminal history, which is a lie. And I'm going to get there. So, just be patient. Let me share this screen so you guys can follow along with this article. Okay, wait a minute. Let me catch up these comments. Thanks for clarification. I had a massive. No, you're not a dummy. Look, it's so much to this. It is so many layers to this case and all of the players and actors in this case. So don't feel bad. I had a hard time researching because I'm trying to piece together, what count with what date, who was responsible. Like it is a lot. Let me see. Damn it, I catch a live and I'm supposed to be writing an essay and studying for a criminal exam. This is studying. We still learning, sis. We still learning. Don't worry about it. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let's share the screen. We're gonna read another article. Uh, which one am I reading? I'm sorry. Hold on. Somebody in my comments said I was always unprepared, and you're right. I am. Okay, it's a lot to do this YouTube thing, so just go with it. Okay, sorry. Let me see. I'm almost there. Hold on. That ain't it. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. First of all, it doesn't help that I have like 5,000 tabs open. Okay, so it's slowing everything down. And I want to find the right article for the right time. Maybe this one is it. I think this one is it. Is it, please? Okay. This is it. I found it. Okay. So let's listen to this. All right. Court commissioner with a history of low bonds blames the rookie prosecutor for being rushed. Okay. So the court commissioner is the one responsible for setting multiple low bonds. He has a history of this. Not only does he have a history of it, he is blaming the ADA, okay, for the low bond that was recommended. The prosecution, you got to understand, a prosecution can only recommend something. Ultimately, a judge, a magistrate, a court commissioner can only approve it. Okay. So this is just amazing to me that someone at the highest tier possible will blame someone that is under their direct supervision. But let's listen to what he has to say. The Milwaukee County Judicial Court Commissioner is under fire after he approved a $1,000 bond earlier this month for the career criminal accused of plowing his SUV into a parade of Christmas marchers in Waukesha last weekend. If y'all hear my kids playing, just go with it. Commissioner Cedric Cornwall approved the low bond for Darrell Brooks during an arraignment for an alleged hit and run, despite the fact that he's been bailed twice this year and has a lengthy criminal history stretching back to 1999. Okay. Brooks, 39, was arrested on November 2nd in Milwaukee for hunting down the mother of one of his children at a local hotel. He then followed her down the street with his red Ford SUV and allegedly ran her over in the parking lot of a gas station after she refused to get into his car. The same SUV was used in the Waukesha massacre. This is the commissioner, guys. His name is Cedric Cornwall. And I'm going to go into what a court commissioner is, how they are elected, so on and so forth. Critics are also shaming the Milwaukee County's DA office after court records revealed an inexperienced rookie prosecutor and her rushed supervisor likely overlooked Brooks' lengthy criminal history when setting bail for the hit and run. Okay, so this is the prosecutor here. Okay, this is her supervisor. Okay, so she's the ADA. This is her supervisor. This guy up here is in charge. He oversees everything. He's basically their supervisor. Okay. Cornwall, who served as commissioner since 2005, has a history of low bonds. Listen to this closely, okay? On the same day that he set the $1,000 bond for Brooks, he also set a $500 bond for a man who was accused of strangulation, battery, and domestic violence. The day before, he set a bail at $1,000 for a woman charged with three felonies, one of them being child abuse. In 2006, the commissioner set bail at $100,000 for a foreign exchange student accused of an SEX crime. Cornwall didn't require the man to surrender his passport, and he fled to China, where he was later arrested on an unrelated charge and extradited back to the US. Okay. Um, Let me see. Is that all that I wanted to touch? Because my mouth is just under the floor reading that. Okay. So basically, Milwaukee is saying that, they have a backlog. They're 2 years behind. Um, they're struggling every day. Let me see. The public is arguing that the backlog is causing vital case information to slip through the cracks. They acknowledge that this is a tragedy and they're going to investigate, so on and so forth. Let me see anything else down here that I need to mention. Just the same stuff. What y'all think about that? Let me get over here so I can see what the comments saying. Nothing? Y'all ain't got nothing to say. Okay. Okay. Here we go. If they weren't lying, then they were bending the truth into a dozen knots. And it was more crooked than a politician's back. John, I can always count on you. I can always count on you for some good humor. What's that sound? Oh, that's a lower employee getting hurled. Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. Yep. Y'all hear my kids? They are having such a good time. Okay. All right. So we finished that one. So let me go into, hold on, what a court commissioner is. So basically, a court commissioner is someone who is hired. They're not elected officials. They're lawyers who only have to have 3 years experience. They are then hired in and they can basically do the same job that a judge or magistrate can do. So, they can handle pretrial hearings depending upon what the matter is. And of course, they have to follow the state statute or what have you. Every county does not have them. Um, in Milwaukee, there are 22 court commissioners. What else did I find out? So court commissioners, they are reviewed annually by supervising judge or judges. Um, that is all. If there has to be some type of disciplinary action, then the complaints are forwarded to a judicial commission. Um, and that's it. That's all. Okay. Cedric Cornwall was not fired. He was not demoted. They just transferred him to another sector. So he's still a court commissioner. He just does not deal with criminal cases. And that's all. Okay. So he basically got away with letting an animal back out onto the streets. Okay. They all should be fired. Absolutely. I agree. They should be fired from the top all the way down. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I let them have a good time. They are having such a good time. They're getting ready to go to bed in a little bit, but I'm just gonna let them get it all out. All right, one more article, and then I have a video of the DA. We're gonna see what he has to say. So, let's see. The title of this is. Give me a second. And then I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come up. Give me one second though. Okay. Woke Milwaukee DA blames his junior prosecutor and computer error for low bail blunder that saw Waukesha parade killer freed on $1,000 bond. Now here's the thing though that I want to add before I read this. So when he was arrested, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait. Okay, so a woke DA, whose office freed the man accused of carrying out the Waukesha Parade massacre, has blamed a rookie prosecutor and a computer error for the suspect being freed on low bail after a prior alleged hit and run. District Attorney John Chisum, speaking out Thursday for the first time since the November 21st tragedy, blamed a rookie prosecutor in his office for freeing suspected mass murderer Darrell Brooks. That's her name. Is Michelle Grasso. Um, okay, he blamed her for the $1,000 bill. So we all know basically at this point what she did. She looked at the $5,000 bail that was assessed during the when he was jailed for the incident with his nephew. She looked at it and she just doubled it. She did not look at his criminal history. They did do a pretrial assessment on him, but again, they're claiming that, they were just so overworked. She was a rookie and, she just basically was like, just double it and let him go. It's just overcrowded. Okay. Just pure negligence. He claimed he didn't have a risk management computer data available to her that could have kept Brooks behind bars. So she's basically saying that the pretrial risk assessment that was supposed to have been completed prior to the nephew's incident, she couldn't find. But I'm going to tell you how they're lying in 1 second. Okay, so he says you had a young assistant DA trying to do the very best she could under really difficult circumstances, and she made a mistake. He also went on to say that this is a decision on its face, and I believe it was inappropriately low given the context of what we knew about the defendant. But this is where I have an issue because if she's an assistant DA, okay, so let's think about Sue Opper, Leslie Basie, and Zach Wichow, right? Sue Opper is the DA, right? She reports directly to the judge. So the judge is up at the top. You got the district attorney, you have prosecuting attorneys up under her. Zach is the assistant prosecuting attorney, right? So whatever decision that he wants to make, he has to go to Sue Opper. Okay. She has to make sure that whatever he's trying to file, whatever suggestions he has, whatever recommendations he has, they have to come together as a team, okay, to make sure that it's correct, they're following procedure before they present it to a judge. Suapa doesn't have to do that because she's directly under the judge. Okay. So in this instance, the DA made a mistake because you do have an assistant DA, but she has a direct supervisor. The direct supervisor didn't check and cross off anything. Okay. And then he didn't cross off and check anything. So everybody's at fault here. He can't just say, oh, well, she's young, she's a rookie, she made a mistake. You know all of that. Everybody has to start somewhere. But you didn't do your due diligence by checking and making sure that she knew how to do her job the correct way and she's filing everything the way that she needs to file, especially as it relates to a career criminal. So this is not going to work. Okay. He says that's human error. It set in motion a chain of events that resulted in a tragedy. Again, I am not trying to lessen our responsibility for that, but that's it. What's it? What is he talking about? Okay. This is him right here. This is the district attorney for Milwaukee. Okay. Ooh, look at that face. Lord. All right. What else he have to say? So he claims that the assistant prosecuting attorney, the ADA, did not have access to the defendant's pretrial risk assessment that looks at several factors. We're going to go into that in a minute. Um, this and they also say that this DA has a history of trying to reduce incarceration by the number of suspects freed on cash bail. Okay. Um, he says, I put the finger on myself, and that's my obligation. That's my responsibility. See? Adding that the risk assessment was in place when Brooks was released. Yes, you guys did a pretrial risk assessment when he was released for the incident with Erica. Okay, but you didn't have one, or you claim you didn't have one, or you couldn't have found one, or nobody made one because he didn't have any charges, or y'all didn't know the charges for the last one. And it's just all just a convoluted mess. He says there was a public safety assessment that was done that characterized the situation as a high risk situation. Yes, it was. Our default position in this case, because of the laws in Wisconsin, is that we recommend higher amounts of cash, explaining the protocol that should have been followed. Okay. It says that, he was charged with endangerment. We're talking about Brooks here. It says again, since prosecutors couldn't provide him with a speedy trial, they reduced his bail from $7,500 to 500. That was posted in March. And then again, he was recommended for a low cash bail that was posted in November. I'm trying to see if it talks about if he got any kind of trouble. Hold on a second. That's the commissioner. So it is still an investigation going, and basically the article talks about like the incident again, like the parade and all of that. But basically, to summarize it, there has to be an investigation, which I'm pretty sure they just swept it under the rug because nobody's talking about it anymore. But the only trouble that he would face is that the public, the community, would have to basically vote him out. He is not going to get in any type of trouble right now. The governor would be responsible for that. The governor has not come out with any type of press conference or anything like that. So, as of right now, he still has his job. Okay. And it is important to note that he is against high bail, just like the commissioner. He feels that it puts the poor at a disadvantage if they're arrested. Even if they are guilty, it still puts them at a disadvantage for not being able to make cash bail. He is also pushing to end cash bail. He just feels that it's unethical. Um, he does not apologize at any point in this article, in this interview. He did, I guess, if you want to call it, try to assume some accountability, but it's not good enough for me. And so that's that on that. So for those of you who are wondering what happened to him, if anything is going to happen to him, I highly doubt it. He's still working. He still feels strongly about ending cash bail. He feels that it should just be reduced or gotten rid of altogether. It's just unfair for those who can't afford it. And in my opinion, it's not an excuse because first of all, just don't do no dumb shit. You won't go to jail. That's number 1. I'm not saying all people that commit crimes are criminals or are bad people, I should say. But, it just seems like they're just making too many excuses at this point. All of you guys work as a team. And if that's the case, if an ADA is allowed to just make any type of decisions that they want and it's okay, then you don't need DAs, you don't need judges. Let's let everybody do their own thing. Everybody can commit whatever crimes they want. And you can go to jail and they'll let you out if you don't have any money to get out. And that's the end of it. We'll just all live harmoniously. Let's see what Spark is saying. We also know the young and inexperienced who work in toxic environments, which it sounds like this was, often just do as they're told to keep their jobs. That's very true. That's very true. You make a very, very valid point. You make a very, but see, that's when you have to, Sparky, I think you're studying criminal justice just like I am. And one of the first classes, or either like your second semester, they really go into great detail when it comes to ethics and criminal justice. So even though someone that's a higher up says, nope, just do it, just give them, whatever bond so they can get out. I'm not going to put my license on the line because you don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, you got to sit and think, like, is this fair? Is this right? This person has a violent criminal past, and they can't lie and say that they don't know he has a criminal past because I don't work for Wisconsin. I don't have any type of law license yet. I don't have any of that, but I'm able to research and find information easily, right? So just the little bit of time that it took me to find information related to his criminal background, they could have done the same. I don't care how backlogged they were. I understand that, we were in a pandemic. I get that. But when it comes to somebody that, what did they say he was arrested for? Let's go back to that. Um, Second degree recklessly endangering safety. To me, that's somebody who, if you let them go, they're gonna go back and do that again because they didn't give a damn the first time. Felony possession of a firearm, you know? And not only were you in possession of the firearm, you weren't afraid to use it recklessly, right? So if I'm an ADA and I know this, like I said, my ethics have to kick in and say, okay, well, I got to do a little bit of digging and I got to go to my higher up, over this person and just say, listen, they're trying to force me to do something that I know isn't right. What can I do? Like somebody at some point has to take accountability. I get what you're saying, and I'm not fussing at you. I'm just saying it infuriates me that that's the way that this justice system is. It's like you put people in a position where they are afraid that if I don't do what you say, I'm gonna lose my job. Well, if I lose my job, I lose my job, you know? But at the end of the day, I work for the public, I serve the public, and it is irresponsible of me to not do my job to the best of my ability and let somebody out, that's gonna potentially do what he did, right? Exactly. Exactly. It's not hard. And see, the thing is, like, when you are in school for any type of law, criminal justice, law school, um, criminal justice, what I say, criminal justice, law school, paralegal, you have access to things that lay people don't have access to. And then once you graduate and you become licensed, you have a larger database to work with. So the information is available. Now it's up to you if you want to use it. You know what you saying? Your point about ethics, I know I go by the cover of my ass. You have to. You have to. Because see, here's the thing. You see how easy it was for this man that knows that the only way that he's going to lose his job is if he's voted out, right? You see how easy it was for him to just blame somebody else and a rookie? Now she messes up and she loses her license. I'd be damned if I go to school all that long, all of that stress from law school. And then you throw me under the bus like that when we're supposed to be a team so you can save your ass. Now you still got your job. You're fine. You could just put out a press release and say, "Oh, my bad, but my rookie effed up." And then I'm just shit out of luck? No. No. Exactly. She should have went to her supervisor or I would have took my butt to that court commissioner and told him what was up. Listen, this is what I found on this person. This district attorney is telling me to do one thing, but I know it's not right. What can we do? Absolutely not. No. And I don't want to make it about sex, like female versus male, but in this situation, that's what it is. You got a young female, doing her thing, and then you got two males telling her, "Just do something. Just do it. We got to get these people out of here. Just do it." No. Girl, mm-mm. I would have just kept going till I couldn't go no more. Y'all not getting ready to do that to me. Let me drop this link in case anybody want to come up. How I do this? Copy what I do. Copy and put it in the chat. Y'all know I'm not too well versed with this, but we gonna see if this is how I do it. Yeah, I did it. Okay. If anybody want to come up, come up. You don't have to cam up. You don't have to put your real name. If you want to add anything to the conversation, you're more than welcome to. Um, but I'm gonna keep going. So it's time for me to do my little rant. Okay, y'all know I love to do that. So here are my papers rattling because I have copious notes. So we know the DA is John Chisum, and he recommended the $1,000 bail, but blamed it on his assistant DA. It was doubled from a previous arrest. Okay. The court commissioner is the one that approved it on November 5th, and Darrell was let out um sometime later. I think on the 12th, something like that. All right. Why was the previous bail? Why was the bail set at $1,000? Because they claimed there was no access to a pre-trial assessment. Did that matter? No. Pre-trial assessments are done every time somebody is arrested, and it is checking to see if a person is a flight risk, if they have a risk of criminal conduct, if there is a risk of violence or harm. Mind you, he was arrested for felony reckless endangering safety in a DV case. And also, you guys want to know something else? There were jail phone calls. Remember that? I read those to y'all, I think when I did that Erica video or another video, one of them I read them where he basically intimidated the hell out of Erica and made her too afraid to say anything so that he could get out. This is how I know they're lying because the jail records all phone calls. And anything that's incriminating in those phone calls, they have to turn them over. So y'all had it, you didn't listen to it, you probably tossed it to the side. Okay? So, how are pretrial risk assessments used? They are used to inform, not replace judicial decision making and discretion. Why is that important? One doesn't cancel out the other. It is used to give you insight into the person's criminal history. It does not mean that you use that and say, okay, well, let him out, don't let him out. Okay, you use it at your discretion. In this case, they didn't use anything, not even common sense. What else should be considered? The nature and circumstance of the offense. Okay. The weight of the evidence. I just said, remember when he threatened Erica not to give permission to get her medical records? Y'all remember that, right? That's evidence right there. That was enough to make him stay in jail. Elements required by state statute. We'll go over that in a second. Input from prosecution and defense. Okay. Now, mind you, when he was arrested for his the incident with his nephew, the court who did his pretrial detention hearing did not record um any of the trial, meaning that there was no court reporter to produce transcripts. Did y'all hear that? Basically, there was no proof of what took place at that hearing. So not only are they talking about, oh, well, we don't have access to his pretrial risk assessment. We don't know his criminal history. Now they're saying they didn't have access to the transcripts. Okay. Which by law it is illegal per the Supreme Court not to have a recorder in the courtroom doing any kind of um proceedings as it relates to a defendant or any type of trial, any type of preliminary hearing, detention hearings, or whatnot. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of law. I know sometimes I talk fast. I will try to slow down. I will try to water it down a little bit. Um, if you don't understand something, just leave me a comment. I don't mind slowing down and repeating. So, we're going to get into these cases and the elements. By elements, I mean requirements. So, when you are arrested, you know that the police have to have probable cause to arrest you, meaning that they saw you do something or the evidence points to you or per investigation through like eyewitness testimony, maybe surveillance, they saw you doing something, they came and got you, you going to jail. You get booked, you get charged, you have first appearance. Okay. So, in order for the prosecution to determine what to charge you with, a certain protocol that they have to follow. So they have to do something called it's called mens rea, which means culpable mind, which proves intent, and it has to go along with the actus reus. Actus reus means harm. The two of them have to go together. They're both Latin terms. The mens rea is necessary to prove guilt. Okay. There are four culpable states of mind: purposely, some states call it intentionally, knowingly, recklessly, negligently. Sorry. Okay. We all know purposely means that you meant to do it. Okay. I know if I put a bullet and it's GUN and I fire it at you, I know what's going to happen. That's intent. You intentionally did it. Knowingly means that there's a certain conduct that will cause a particular result. Recklessly means that there was conscious disregard for a substantial risk. Negligently means that you're unaware of the risk, but you should have been aware. So, like if you light a candle and you go to bed, you knew that if that candle burned down after a certain time, it's gonna burn the doggone house down, right? Okay. Hope y'all are following me so far. So, was Darnisha drug tested? So which time, John? With the nephew or the Either way, usually when they arrest you, I think that they are supposed to um get a blood sample so it'll test presence of illicit drugs or prescription drugs. And with that information, they can give it to the prosecution so, they can do their thing. So I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they did. In fact, I know they said that for the parade track. Yeah. So do you remember during the interrogation? What did they swap? They had to get the subpoena to swab him, but they got his blood at the hospital to see if he was under the influence of alcohol. Remember, because he was going back and forth like, "Oh, well, I don't look drunk. I was just going house to house looking for a phone. I didn't get out of a car, so how would it be a DUI?" So yes, they did test his blood for the presence of alcohol and drugs. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So we talked about mens rea. All right. So y'all remember that's criminal intent. That is trying to see what the person's state of mind was at the time of the crime. So this is how Milwaukee is full of it. So they're saying that they weren't aware of his criminal history or anything like that. And so these next four charges that I'm going to read to you all happened in Milwaukee. So in 1999, his very first crime was committed in Milwaukee for substantial battery, which is a felony. It is purposely causing bodily harm to another. Okay. 2002 to 2003, he was arrested for drug possession. The elements to prove drug possession is that the defendant knew he was in possession of a substance. The substance was illegal, and the defendant knew the substance was controlled. I think he had THC. Obstruction. Okay. This is knowingly obstructs an officer while the officer is doing an act in an official capacity. The drug possession and obstruction are two misdemeanors. The substantial battery are felonies. In 2011, he was arrested for resisting arrest, and that is knowingly resisting an officer while the officer is doing an act in an official capacity. Okay. Those are four charges. Okay. That can be looked up by anybody. Anybody. I easily found this information. You find the way that the prosecution comes up with how to charge someone. They're going to look at the evidence. They're going to look up the state statute for that specific crime. So for substantial battery, you will look that up on the Wisconsin legislature. You will look up the elements and you will look up the mens rea. So did he purposely cause harm to another person? Yes. Okay. Did he knowingly have drugs on his person? Yes. This all happened before he got into the altercation with his nephew in Milwaukee, the same city that arrested him when he let them bullets pop off at his nephew. Okay. Now, the reason why he got off with the nephew, well, got out of jail, was because of overcrowding. And this was during COVID. And they know that they can only hold him a certain amount of time. And by law, in some states, if you demand a speedy trial, if they cannot get a trial date set within 90 days, they have to let you go. And that is where those signature bonds come into play. A signature bond basically says that I'm going to release you and I hope that you return. If you don't, I'm gonna um, give you a bench warrant, and we're gonna forfeit your bond. Which we all know that didn't mean nothing to him because he still was on the run. Okay, that's how he got out of that. So now let's get to Erica's case. Let's get to Erica's case. Okay. Let me check on y'all first. Hey, dog mom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. All of your nice comments on my videos. I appreciate all of y'all. What John's talking about? Is he behaving? Okay. All right. So we know with Erica's case, he was arrested on November 2nd, 2021 for felony intimidation of a victim, felony intimidation of a witness, felony bail jumping. Okay. Did he get charged though? I'm a little confused on that one because I think he got charged with the intimidation after the parade. So I think hers was just originally it was just the reckless endangerment with the vehicle and then the bell jumping, and then I think they added on the witness intimidation after the parade. Okay. Now, this is when they say that they didn't have a pretrial risk assessment to use um in order to set the bail for Darrell. But I just read y'all all of those charges, right? So okay, let me slow down. I just read y'all all of those charges, right? 4 charges. One was a felony, 2 were felony, 2 were misdemeanors, right? But I also told you that a pretrial risk assessment is used to inform and not replace judicial decision making, right? So we know what that means. It didn't matter if you didn't have a pretrial risk assessment. First of all, you got to do a new one because he's arrested again. But secondly, use your discretion. If you see that this man has already been arrested and charged 4 times in Milwaukee for violent crimes, he was just arrested again on November 2nd for using that raggedy ass car as a weapon. You telling me that you can't use your common sense and say that this is a violent criminal? Who cares about a pretrial risk assessment at this point? Furthermore, the car should have been impounded after he was arrested, okay, with the incident with his nephew. Nobody ever said anything about that. That car should have been impounded for evidence. That time, and if it wasn't that time, let's just say, okay, well, we made a mistake. When he ran Erica over and was arrested, it should have been impounded. He used it as a weapon. Who dropped the ball? Is what I want to know. Who dropped the ball? Okay, let's see what y'all talking about now. Here's something y'all might like. Rumor has it one of the parade victims is kinfolk to a high level member of a MC in that state. So the MC has what is M? I don't know what those abbreviations mean. You probably can't type it out. I don't know what you're talking about. But are y'all following what I'm saying here? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the DA, nor the court commissioner, nor the ADA, nor her supervisor can say that they didn't know because they didn't have a pretrial risk assessment. Because it is so easy, especially in the same district, to look up somebody's criminal history, right? Especially when this was only a year ago. And mind you, he was only let out in February and this was November, so it wasn't that long ago. And then, like I said, after he ran over Erica, y'all should have impounded that car. So I'm wondering, so they went to arrest him at his mama's house. She went back in the house and just said, "Oh, well, let me figure out what to do next." And then y'all just left the car there and just took him to jail and didn't try to get any evidence for a trial that's getting ready to take place, but y'all couldn't have a trial because the court is congested. But the car, the weapon is still at home. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that while I look for this video. Actually, yeah, let me look at the video first, and then we're gonna look at this pretrial risk assessment. Hold on. And behave, John. Okay, so this is this is from the Milwaukee DA. Let's see what he got to say.
System works in Milwaukee County, if you don't mind.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Yes. Let's focus first on the decision to recommend a $1,000 cash bail. That is a decision that on its face, I have already articulated and stated fairly early as this was unfolding that I believe that was inappropriately low given the context of what we knew about the defendant. And let me also make clear, I am saying this not just because it's my ethical obligation to say so, but because it also points to a really important point, and that is that anything I say right now has to be remembered in the context that Mr. Brooks is presumed innocent until the cases are adjudicated. Prosecutors are obligated to say that in any case where a charge has been issued. And it speaks to the issue of bail as well, and that is that the state ultimately bears the obligation to prove every case with evidence that supports a finding of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The state's main power, as it were, is to issue a charge. We do not ultimately decide the outcome of that charge. It either goes to a jury trial, it goes to a court. We make arguments, we present evidence, but our ultimate power is to make a charging decision. In this particular case, the statement we released early on was to indicate that Mr. Brooks had already been arrested and charged with a serious weapons-related offense. On that case, $10,000 cash bail was set. Now the context of the enormous challenges that we are facing in relation to the pandemic come into play, because what occurred is that this defendant was held on bail and the trial dates were set. He had a trial date set that we could not provide a court trial for him or a jury trial for him on that date, but it's not because we weren't doing anything else. I think the courts can speak to what else was going on that day. But under the law, there is a requirement that a person's custody status be reviewed if you can't provide them with a speedy trial. That's what occurred. The bail was reduced in that case. Time later, Mr. Brooks is arrested again, and this time it's for a very serious domestic violence offense. This brings in the Milwaukee DA's office once again, and the decision, which was appropriate to charge Mr. Brooks with a very serious allegation and issue a criminal complaint on it. The context I can tell you from having examined the circumstances surrounding this decision is that the ADA, who is has about 2.5 years experience, but is already prosecuting domestic violence felony cases. She's one of our 2 dedicated domestic violence felony cases, has already in 2.5 years done over 20 jury trials. That week, she was actually in the middle of a jury trial, a 2.5-day jury trial, in addition to having almost 24 felony level cases to review. This case was one of those cases she was reviewing in that context. And we have established a risk assessment system in Milwaukee County, which is really important to understand. When I first ran in 2007, I made a commitment to the community that I would do everything in my power to try to identify people by risk. And those people that pose less of a risk, even though you can never guarantee that they are not going to do something more serious. But with all the information we had, if we could identify people that were drug addicted, mentally ill, lower level offenses, we wanted to do something different with them so that we would have the resources to focus on violent people that hurt other people. That was the goal. That is the system that we've put in place. And that system actually was operating and should have been followed. It should have been followed. There was a public safety assessment that was done that characterized this situation as a high-risk situation. Our default position in this case, because of the laws in Wisconsin, is that we recommend higher amounts of cash. That's not what the law says, by the way. The law says that cash is only intended to bring the person back to court, and non-monetary conditions can be considered, factoring in the dangerousness and the risk to the victim and other factors like that. Nonetheless, higher cash bail should have been recommended in this case. In talking to the ADA, what she indicated is that she did not have access to that public safety assessment. It's not because it wasn't done. It just hadn't been uploaded into our case management system. Given the volume of cases she was dealing with, given her jury trial that she was working on, she simply charged the case. She looked at the previous bail, saw that it was 500, and she doubled it. That's it. That's a mistake. That's human error. And it just set in motion a chain of events that resulted in a tragedy. And again, not trying to lessen our responsibility for that, but that's it. And there's a lot more information we have to talk about going forward, and I'm going to be as transparent and accountable for that. But in essence, that's what you had. You had a young ADA trying to do the very best she could under really difficult circumstances, and she made a mistake.
Well, sorry, excuse me. What y'all think about that? He said it's her fault. She did the best that she could. It sounded like a lot of mumbo jumbo to me, in the words of my good sis, Sue Opera. My thing is this, okay? If y'all know that, here's the thing. Anybody that's worked in law enforcement knows that there is always an increase in crime when certain things are going on. So for instance, when people run out of money and they don't give a damn, they go and commit crimes. Usually you see an increase in robberies around the holidays, okay? Because people are trusting to companies to deliver their items, and you got all of these porch thieves that will come and take your stuff, okay? The pandemic for a lot of people was very stressful. A lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost loved ones, and some people lost their minds, okay? Um, I believe that was a time where the crime did increase. You know, it just did. You're gonna have criminals. If you didn't, we wouldn't have the jobs we have, all right? This was this went on during a pandemic. There are lawyers everywhere. Now, granted, you got people that retire, but with those that retire, you have more to come in, right? He's the damn DA. If you know that your rookie ADA is overwhelmed, right? Why wouldn't you pull up your sleeves and go help her? Why would you keep piling cases on top of cases instead of helping her? Why wouldn't you go to the court commissioner and say, hey, we have a violent criminal in our jail who has been intimidating a witness, okay, who used his car as a weapon. It is very dangerous to let him go. What can we do? I understand what the laws are. You know, my ADA is already in the middle of a trial. What can we do? It had to have been another solution to this. It had to be. Higher cash bill, my foot should have been no bail whatsoever. No bail whatsoever. Thank you, Dogma. I love to laugh. Thank you so much. Some people get mad when I laugh, but I don't care. Okay, what I got to be upset about? I'm gonna laugh. This is my channel. I'm gonna have a good time. Yep, holidays and summertime. And that's the thing. Like when you work in criminal justice, you know that. Like you know when to prepare for an influx of criminality, people committing crimes. You got a lot of criminals who, once they are released back into the environment where they learned, to become criminals, you put them back in that situation, they're gonna do it again because guess what? A lot of times, excuse me, a lot of times with criminals, excuse me, I should say offenders. Hold on. A lot of times when offenders are released, what do they have to go back to? Hold on. I'm so sorry. My throat was getting dry. I might have to go get a cough drop. But a lot of times when you let them go, they don't have anything waiting for them. Like low level offenders, a lot of them can't get jobs. They don't have anywhere to live. All they know is where they come from. Hold on, I'm gonna go get the cough drop. Hold on, y'all. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you. I hate when you get like to the end of a cold and then the last thing left is the cough, but it's a dry cough now because all of the congestion is gone. Getting ready to take me out of here. Okay. Whew, okay. So, like I was saying, you let a low level offender back out into the street. They don't have money. They don't have a car. Maybe they do if somebody like kept it for them. They don't have anywhere to go. So a lot of them think, okay, well, I'll just, commit another crime because at least in jail, I know I can eat. I know for the most part, I'm safe, depending upon if they're in a jail or a prison, you know, I'm accounted for. I don't have anything to worry about or whatever. And so that's where your overcrowding comes into play because with people that commit low level offenses, they don't have the right rehabilitation programs for them when they're released. Now, we're not talking about Darrell Brooks because he just didn't give a damn. I am talking about the other people who maybe they did make a mistake. Maybe they were with the wrong people. Maybe they were just influenced by their, excuse me, environment. They go to jail. They understand this is not the life that I want. I want to come out and, change my life around, do better. But like I said, if you put somebody back out into society, like, oh, I sound like Dawn, you put them back into society, okay, without the right resources, what are you expecting them to do? Let's separate the emotion from the facts. What do you expect them to do? So then you have this overcrowding in jail, and then you have lawyers and court staff who are overwhelmed with their jobs because they keep seeing the same things day day in and day out. Okay. A lot of times you get these cases that are just so voluminous, these case files, and you are the only ones who are working on them. You don't have the help. People don't want to help you. You don't know who to go to ask for help. You might be ashamed to ask for help. So a lot of people just in this case just don't care anymore. And I think that's what happened here. Was just like, look, we already short staffed. It's COVID. Y'all do what y'all got to do. And now we gonna play the blame game. Let me catch up on these comments. Doesn't the DA have to oversee those? Yes. Yes. And so that's why I said he's making all of these excuses, but they mean nothing. Because at the end of it, you should know every case that comes across her desk and how she decided to handle it. Now, granted, she would be the one that will go to like the pretrial detention hearings, you know, and recommend bail and recommend this and that. But again, he is the one that oversees that. And then the court commissioner is the one that's going to approve it. So it's several people that should have had eyes on that. I understand why some of these elements are implemented into the criminal justice system, such as bail reforms, but then, like everyone says, do the research. Absolutely. And you know what? Depending upon, like I said, how many crimes a person committed, it can be overwhelming. But that's something that you know going into the job. Sparky, you and I both know, like, law is complicated. It's very interesting. You learn a lot. And ultimately, you want to do good and you want to help people. You want to keep society safe. But when you were in school, you have an idea of what it's going to be like. And then my thing too is when you get in there and you get a couple cases under your belt, be honest with yourself. If you don't like it, you feel like you can't do it anymore, don't. I am an advocate for not letting a job stress you out. I am in control of what I want to deal with as it relates to my mental health and how I make my money. If I am overly stressed, I'm not getting the support that I need. I go home and wake up dreading to go back to a job. It's not the job for me. I don't give a damn how long I went to school for it. And, if it was my dream since I came out of the womb, I don't care. If I don't like it, it is not serving a purpose for me. I gotta go. And I'll be damned if you're gonna throw me under the bus after I'm working all of these cases and then you sitting up here on this Zoom meeting blaming me? Nah. Mm-mm. I don't think so. I believe that too, Sparky. Yep. He didn't deserve bail from way back in the day. And then when I added up like all of his Daryl before this parade massacre, he only served maybe 2 years in jail for all of the felonies that he's committed. We're going back to 1999, the year that everybody thought was going to be the end all be all, is when this man decided he was going to be a career criminal. He has been running from the police his entire adult life and has been either on probation, a signature bond, and in a little bit of time that he served in jail. And that's why he thought during this trial he was going to get away with no issue whatsoever because he has been able to manipulate the system and he knew the right buzzwords to say. Okay. He knows how to get under your skin. And he probably knew that it's a bunch of lazy people that probably really don't like their jobs that's just going to do whatever they need to do to get paid and go home. Yep. Very true. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm working this cough drop in my mouth. I'm sorry. People probably not watching no more. Look, I gotta lubricate my throat. I'm sorry. Amen. What you talking about, John? You talking about something that I said or I'm lost. I'm so behind in these comments. I'm sorry. DB never made. Let me catch up. Never made to take responsibility. Nope. Nope. Even to this day, he's still not going to take any type of accountability or responsibility for his actions. We have Erica's trial coming up. And instead of him just taking the public defenders that were offered to him, because it doesn't matter either way, he has to be in control. He's not going to just say, you know what, I did. I did what I did. I'm sorry, you know, and let Erica go back home to her babies. That's what she really wants to do. And I just want to say, if she's listening, Erica, I love you so much. I really do from the bottom of my heart. I am very sincere when I tell you this. And I am so proud of you for getting up every day, going to work, despite the circumstance. You get up and she holds her head high and she's going to work. She says she's talking to her children every day. Okay. Even though everybody's in her business. Okay. And still blaming her for something that she had nothing to do with. I am so proud of you. Okay. And I know there are great things in store for you, Erica. Just keep praying and believing and working hard. And I pray that this is over fast enough so you can get home to your babies. I really do. Dang, I can't even talk. What this time? I'm sorry, y'all. Mhm. Mhm. That personality disorder is something else. I'm actually I'm working on like 15 videos at a time. So I'm working on a video for about his personality disorder, and I'm trying to find the right day to actually pair with the disorder. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. All right. Mhm. I don't know if Dog Mom answered this or not. I'm working my way down the comments, but I do. I think that, and I think I mentioned that during that colloquy that he had to basically dismiss his lawyers. If you go to a certain point in that colloquy, you can see how when Judge Doro basically told him he was doing a good job with answering her questions, how proud he was of himself. And he was so proud that she was able to point that out and recognize him for that. And this is an adult. This is a 39-year-old man, that's so proud that he's able to answer a question. I think this whole trial, again, I'm not an emotional thinker. I like to look at things from a different perspective. I think the entire trial, even though he showed out, was an opportunity for him to do something that he never had the chance to do. There are people who are upset with me for feeling that way. But like I said, everybody's born with potential. We all have potential. Now it's up to you how you decide to use it. Okay. Daryl Brooks is not stupid. I don't care who gets mad at me for saying it. He's not. I feel like he continuously made bad choices. He made a really horrible choice this last time, okay, and showed no remorse. But I feel like before he committed that crime in 1999, if he had been given the right amount of love and attention that children who are loved and cared for get regularly, he could have been something great. Okay. I don't care who gets mad at me for saying that. I believe that for everybody. Everybody has an opportunity to dig deep within themselves, find out who you are, what you want to do with your life, and do it and not make excuses, you know? What'd you say? I chose not to pursue criminology because. So what are you studying again? Who's the paralegal? Is it Dog Mom? I'm so sorry. I'm clearing my throat. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, I'm still going through it a little bit. I'm trying. Hmm. Another way that you can tell too is because even though he knew he wasn't well versed in the law, he still wanted praise and admiration just for showing up and pretending. Now to us, it's ridiculous, right? Because it's like, you don't know what you're doing. Why are you doing this? You shouldn't have fired your lawyers. But that's not his mindset. His mindset is, I'm just as good as them. Okay, they have the same discovery I have. I can put on a suit. I can come in here. I can ask some questions. You know, what makes me different from them? He wanted the judge to hold him in the same regard that he did the state. And when that didn't happen, look what happened. He had an epic meltdown day after day. But in his mind, there was no difference. Erica got her a man. Okay, Erica, girl. Yes. Be careful, though, girl. Be careful. Nothing to be sorry about. Thank you, John, because I'm going through it. But hey, they just gonna have to. This is me. I listen. I am not going to sugarcoat anything on here. There is nothing perfect about me. I'm a real person. Okay. Oh, Erica said, "Damn, wasn't that sad?" Oh God, that just went all through me. It went all through me. It did. Ain't nothing he can do. Wouldn't it be wonderful tomorrow? Oh, so okay. I know the last video that I watched of her, she said she didn't know if she was gonna do Zoom or actually go. So I guess we'll have to see because Bama isn't Miss Carrie. She usually streams she usually streams the court proceedings. So I'll be on her channel tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be on this channel watching her or my other channel, but I'll be watching tomorrow to see what's happened. This is a status hearing for appointment of counsel. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But oh, without a social work. Oh, social work. Sparky, I am so proud of you. I am studying criminology, criminal justice, and paralegal studies. But they all kind of tie hand in hand. Like criminal justice kind of ties in hand with paralegal, like the first part of it, and then it goes into like policing, juvenile policing, corrections, things like that. And of course, you already know, like with criminology, that's the study of criminal behavior, which I didn't think I would like, but I do, and that's what helps me break down these cases. So kudos to you. Hey, Maya. He did, and that's why he kept yelling, "Oh, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair." And it's just like, nobody's being unfair to you, sir. You're not getting it. Mhm. Okay. Carrie will be live tomorrow. Okay, because I think it's at like 10 or 9 or 10, but I'll be there. I see Miracle has interviewed Erica. Thank you so much. I will always advocate for Erica. Oh, pronounce your name for me. Is it Shaikik? Shaikik? I don't want to mess it up. He knows one sister. That's it. Hold on. Lord have mercy. Let me play a video for a little bit so I can get my throat together. Hold on. This video, excuse me. There was a video when they were having a hearing
So you don't, nothing you want to bring
wearing
up today.
this is it, wearing his mask during trial. So I'm gonna let y'all watch this and I'm gonna try to finish coughing. So here you go.
So you don't, nothing you want to bring up today. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Attorney Opera, you referenced a couple of other issues. One of which I already took under advisement. I think I addressed the timing. I think that leaves the face mask issue that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, there's a couple other things here on my checklist, Your Honor, but we can go to the face mask issue.
All right, go ahead.
It's appropriate. Your Honor, I have a request as to Mr. Brooks wearing a face mask at all times in the courtroom. Frankly, I'm not sure the reason behind that. I guess it really doesn't matter, other than to indicate there's certainly no court order requiring that, nor is there any requirement by the sheriff's office that he be required to wear a face mask in court. My concern is that identification of this defendant may be a significant issue in this case. The jury will be shown multiple videos and photographs of the driver of the SUV throughout the trial. They will hear testimony from eyewitnesses that we believe will identify the driver of the vehicle, but ultimately, that is a question they will have to be concerned with themselves and be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Brooks is the person who committed these crimes that he's accused of. And with the face mask that he's been wearing to court, I think almost every time, if not every time, I think impedes that ability of the jury to reach that conclusion as to identification of the defendant. So my request is that he not wear one, but if there's some legitimate reason or medical reason or need for the mask, then at least there has to be appropriate lengthy occasions where the jury again can observe Mr. Brooks at the defense table and assist them in making that conclusion as to his identification. So, I mean, if this trial lasts 3 or 4 weeks, I don't think 5 minutes is a fair compromise there. I would be asked that he be required to be without the mask for some substantial period of time, again, so that the jurors can observe him. And many of the recordings and photographs are quick screenshots and very short in duration. So it's not as if, we have a portrait that we could say, here's the portrait of the driver and here's Mr. Brooks, and you could just have him take off his mask for 5 minutes and that would be sufficient in our opinion. So that's our request, is that he be ordered to remove the face mask for the whole trial. If the court won't go that far, then for at least sufficient amount of time for the jury to reach its own conclusions. And obviously he'll have to do it temporarily when the witnesses are asked to identify him as well.
Attorney Perry, I know there's not a written motion on this, so if you need some time to think about it, if you're prepared to address, great, I'll turn it over to you, but I know I'm first hearing this. Not a surprise, I would say. I had thought about some of the identification issues and how would we do that given the mask, but how would you like to handle that?
Well, I am surprised at the request that he be not permitted to wear a mask at all during the course of the trial. It's one thing if it were tailored to a particular witness, their described ability to perhaps identify him, and if needed in a particular moment, to take it up that way. But I mean, surely this isn't, we aren't so far removed from COVID that it's a mystery as to why somebody might be wearing a mask. Mr. Brooks has been consistent, I think, at the jail and court with being masked it's not at all uncommon. I think when we walked into the courthouse today, there was somebody at one of the security persons wearing a face mask. That's still it's less and less common, but that's still the world we find ourselves in. And for him to be taking those precautions to remain healthy, which frankly, with this desire not to have any delays, is kind of would assist with that. So I would certainly object to any just blanket ruling that Mr. Brooks not be permitted to wear a mask. I would think that anybody in this courtroom should remain permitted to wear a mask if they felt that that was necessary for themselves without having to provide, a doctor's note or some special circumstance to permit that. So I guess I think that's how I'd ask that this be handled is, if it's a, if there's testimony that, I saw Mr. Brooks face on, and, in order for me to identify him, I would need to see his whole face. I think, we should address it that way in the hearing, and we can be on advance notice that, for the minute that's necessary, that he, expose his face to a witness. But I would absolutely object to an order that if myself or Attorney Keyes or Mr. Brooks wished to wear a mask in a public setting, if one of us were feeling symptomatic or nervous about whoever's at home, we haven't been wearing masks, but Mr. Brooks has. I would very strongly object to an order that he not be permitted to wear a mask during the trial.
I am not at all interested in delving into any personal reasons why a person would want to mask or not mask. I am concerned, however, about the ability of witnesses to identify Mr. Brooks when asked to do so, and ultimately the jury making a determination based on identification. I do not believe that a blanket rule of no mask is necessary to do that. I think it's appropriate that Mr. Brooks be required to unmask anytime that a witness is being asked to identify him, and to do so for an appropriate amount of time. I don't know how many witnesses will be asked to identify him, but if there are, 75 witnesses and 50 witnesses are being asked to identify him, and each witness were asked to see him for at least a minute, 50 minutes is not an insignificant amount of time. I might also entertain a request that at least during some of closing arguments, that he remain unmasked, so that the parties can make appropriate arguments, and the jury can make, begin considering those things. Of course, they don't deliberate until they're in the jury room. I'm open to other means. I don't want to presume to know what types of photographs are coming in or evidence, but if it becomes appropriate to, for example, a booking photo, because that is unmasked and that is something that witnesses are also shown, that might be appropriate in light of his desire to remain masked. Ultimately, Mr. Brooks, what you need to know from me is that I will be asking the jurors during jury selection process about masks. I do that in any event. It's not special to your case. We have jurors who come in with masks. We have jurors who come in without masks. When witnesses come to the witness stand, I require them to unmask for purposes of their testimony, so that the jurors can judge for themselves the credibility. I think that's important. So if you take the witness stand, for example, you will be required to unmask. Um, and so you just need to be aware as you make your personal choice about whether to mask or not, that in some respects it will have to be highlighted to the jury, even if it's with a question to them about that, not specifically as it relates to you, but there are some general questions in the voir dire script about that. And of course, temporarily unmasking for purposes of identification, and then perhaps an order that you unmask for portions of closing arguments. And again, and if he does choose to remain masked, then I would also entertain a request from the state, if you aren't already planning on using a booking photo or some other photo where he's unmasked to assist with identification. I think that's something I would entertain as well.
Whew, my throat is giving me the business, okay? Um, so I don't know if you guys have had an opportunity to vote. I put up a what is this thing called? A poll related to Darrell Brooks and what type of defense you would use. And I think that's going to be my next video. Now, judging by what the video that we just watched, I think that his lawyers were going to try to use a mistaken identity claim. And the reason why I think that is because number one, they're fighting so hard for him to keep his mask on, which COVID protocol wasn't as strict around that time. And if you remember when Corey Runkle took the stand, Darrell was very apprehensive about removing his mask so that she could identify him. And also, some of the other witnesses, when he was required to remove his mask, he, was hesitant to do so as well. However, when it came time for him to actually do his direct examination, he didn't mind having his mask off, but the reason why I think so is because he knew that those people that he called to the stand were not actually injured. And if you remember, he was so adamant about the injured party. He knew the injured parties, the ones that he believed that were truly injured, were no longer here. And they couldn't file a claim against him. And so he knows that these people that he's going to call, were you injured or not? Remember, that was his question. And if so, did you bring a claim against me? Well, if you didn't bring a claim against me, that means that you don't know if it was me driving that car or not. Furthermore, I think that they made him cut his hair and just shave completely as low as he could get in an attempt to try to file a mistaken identity defense. Y'all tell me. Y'all know I think outside the box, okay? Y'all let me know. I'm about to look at the comments in a second, but this poll, ooh. So we have 13% NGRI, 29% heat of passion, 50% depraved mind, 3% coercion by the police, and 5% of you believe it was an accident. Interesting. Let me catch up on these comments. Where I leave off at? I'm sorry, I'm so behind. So I'm wondering, would he be allowed to represent himself only because he's already been convicted like he's convicted and serving time? I need to look that up. Where is my notebook? Let me write that down. Because I don't know if he's able to actually represent himself if he's already serving time for another crime. Let me write that down. Hold on. That is really interesting to know. So we'll see. But I don't think that this judge is gonna. I don't think that they'll let him get away with the 5-sit stuff. But again, I think that if he is given the opportunity to represent himself, I think is I don't think it'll be as as bad as the first time. But they still have to be very careful because remember I told you that, within his rants, he may actually say something that they need to make a judgment on or whatever. And so they have to be very careful with how they, approach that. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. A lot of people didn't. I hope I was able to explain myself a little better. It is hard, but thank you so much. It is very hard. And my husband's in the military, so that doesn't help either. But thank you so much. Thank you, dog mom. I'm proud of y'all too. I'm proud of all of us. I want everybody to win. Oh, he was just arguing and threatening his mama Erica to get his way. He tried to do his best to. Yep. John, don't make me laugh. You know my throat is so oh God. Oh, you know it was. He didn't ever y'all notice he never drank water either? I think I saw him drink water twice. The day that he tried to say that he caught COVID overnight, he drank some water, and then the only other time I saw him drink some water was after his opening statement. He drank like a swig. But any other time, he never drank water. Like he just talked to talk. I know his throat was dry, and I know that breath was hot. Oh man, y'all are funny. I don't ever want to hear him from him again. Oh, he is. Y'all are not gonna tell him that he was not okay. This elite lawyer. What's wrong with y'all? Oh, excuse me. Y'all are so funny. Oh God. Yep. Okay, I think the biggest punishment to him is the fact that he can know. Yep, because remember during the trial, that's all he cared about. He didn't care about that the parade. He didn't care nothing about that. Okay, I did it. What's next? I did not put the pause on Erica, and if I did, she provoked me. What else y'all got? Oh Lord. Oh, yes, Erica is beautiful. She is beautiful, and I just hate that people are so mean, first of all. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn about anybody being mean to me. I don't care. It is not my responsibility to care about what anybody thinks about me, seriously. Like all in all, I'm a good person. I love to laugh. I love to be nice to people. I love meeting people. But I don't care about if anybody doesn't like me or any of that. But with Erica, it's different. Erica is 33, but she's still stuck in a teenage mentality because of all of the abuse that she suffered. And for people to be so mean and to go on her account, her public account, where she is simply trying to express herself and, look for people to encourage her, which is free, and they wanna say hateful things to her, and I just hate that, because she's still trying to learn and find herself, and, she's gonna be more sensitive than, somebody who hasn't been in a situation that she's been in, and people are just hateful. Okay. I wanna look it up because I wanna see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Says it in Canada, representation is also represent. Oh, now see, that's something that they need to do across the states. But y'all remember I said that, like, I feel like all of the victims, including Erica, they should have just had them do like a sworn deposition somewhere else. And then the court reporter could have just read their responses into the record. And that's the end of that, you know? Oh, good, good. Can you drink some honey tea? Yeah, I need to go drink some tea. I'm sorry, I'm coughing all in y'all ear. Oh, I think I have some lemon juice up there too. Oh, that's right. That's right. Y'all are so smart. Yeah. That too, V. Yep. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. What did they say to her? Who? What did they say to Erica? I'm not sure. I know I don't know if they said on her page specifically, but I've seen this before. She even mentioned it that people were saying that Daryl had knocked her teeth out because you can't see her front teeth when she talks, so it appears that they're not there. And she let everybody know I do have teeth, but I suck my thumb. And then I saw a post where people were like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. She's 33 and she sucks her thumb." But again, that's comforting to her. I don't want to say she's childish, but if you're stuck in a certain time in your life, you do things that other people that are her age wouldn't do. So if that's what works for her, I don't care. Long as she's not drugging, she's not selling herself. Like I said, she gets up every day with the mindset to be better. She's going to work. She's trying to rekindle her relationship with her children. And so that's all that matters to me. I don't care. Even if she didn't have any teeth, who cares? That's on her. Like, why are we worried about what's in her mouth? That's right, Bama. I like me. I love me. Okay. I love the people that love me, and that's all. Yep. Hey, dog my ass. Oh, the teeth. The teeth. Teef. The teeth. A lot of people. I had people. Look, I had to block some people because I had people, grown men, coming on my video talking about, oh, well, she has to be held accountable for something because if she hadn't have met up with him, that wouldn't happen. No, no. Mm-mm. We're not gonna blame her ever. Because he's a grown man just like she's a grown woman. I could tell anybody to meet me anywhere. That does not give you the right to assault me, okay? Ever. No. She can go where she wants to go and live her life. He shouldn't have did what he did. That's his fault. He can't not control his anger. That has nothing to do with me. They say me and someone got into it about her teeth and thumb sucking because her my teeth are. I think I sucked my thumb until I was in my 20s. But like I said, from my understanding, sometimes we do childlike things from trauma that we have not tapped into to try to resolve and heal from. And I'm sure that's why she sucks her thumb. You got to remember, he started grooming her when she was 15 years old, 14, 15. What were we all doing when we were 15 years old? You know? Exactly. Exactly. And see, the thing is, believe it or not, there is not enough help available for people who are experiencing domestic V. And not only that, a lot of people who are victims are scared to ask for help. And she's not trusting of anything and anybody. And I can understand why. The many a times that law enforcement failed her, especially this last time when y'all heard how he was intimidating her and threatening her, and y'all still let him out for him only to go find her and do it again? And you want me to trust that you're gonna put me somewhere where I'm gonna be safe and I can talk to somebody about what I feel and try to heal? Okay, she has a lot. I can't imagine being in a city where I don't know anybody. She has no family, no friends, nothing. She doesn't know anything about where she is right now. No way to get back home. Just trying to make it every day. So let that girl suck her thumb if she wants to. Okay. Girl. He just wanted some clout though. He wanted some clout, and that's why he was there. He blames Erica as well. He is disgusting. Period. Mhm. Exactly. People what I've learned is that people just want somebody to blame something for. You got a lot of people that just wanna be right about something. You got a lot of people that just wanna talk, okay, to be seen. And most of it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like I said, I am not ever going to tolerate any type of slander toward Erica or anybody really. Like, there's no reason for it, but especially her. That's like my little sis. I don't know her, but hey, why not? Why should I allow her to be bullied and I can stop it? Like, no, she's not a victim. I mean, she is a victim. I'm sorry, but she's not responsible for any of this ever. And I don't want nobody talking about, oh, well, she lied about her age. I don't care if she did or if she didn't. It still didn't give him a right to abuse her regularly. But y'all know what I thought about? I'm wondering, okay, so I know they met in Nevada, and he was back and forth from Nevada, Georgia, and Wisconsin. So when he left to go get her, I guess from Georgia, did he drive the red SUV to go get her? And then they came back and lived in it, or who knows? I don't know. Let me know if y'all know. You're right, John. And you know what? I'm gonna do a video about that. I don't know if you heard of Khadijah. What is that girl's last name? Khadijah. Anyway, I'll find it. She unalived her husband while on Facebook Live, and the day before they were in a domestic dispute where she was jumping on him, and he called the police to get a police escort to work, and they said no. They pretty much laughed in his face. So yes, you're right. So y'all gonna be mad at me when I do this next video, when I'm gonna attempt to see what 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 the defense could have used, or try to attempt to think what type of strategy they were gonna use to defend him. I know I'm probably gonna lose some subscribers that day. Hey, it is what it is. Because let me tell you something. The defense has to defend. Even if they know that their client is guilty, they still have a job to do, whether we like it or not. And so I think that's gonna be a fun video. I'm gonna go through all of the possible defenses for murder and see um you know, what I can come up with. That's gonna be fun. It might be a live, so y'all can interact with me. You're right. You're right, Fee. Because remember on that video, I did say that her mother let law enforcement know that he kept calling the house, and when the mother answered the phone, he would hang up. But then when Erica would finally answer, he would talk to her. Also, he would go up to her school and wait for her outside. You're right. He's just a piece of trash. Like, there's no mm-mm. They didn't get out the way, dog mom, you know that, okay? Period. He used the horn. He honked the horn at the beginning of the parade route. However, he still had a chance to drive off of the route. Remember, he stopped the car, okay, and he had an opportunity to drive off of the parade on a side street. And I don't know what the hell happened, okay? This is where the intent comes into play because he started to zigzag through the parade. You weren't and it's not like he was zigzagging, like, through open spaces, like, he literally zigzagged through the band and kept going, so That ain't gonna work either. Here, Imma, start that one. Fear. Y'all think his mama was scared of him? I don't know. My grandma raised me, and I was scared of her. First of all, not only was I scared of her, I was scared of all of the people that she knew. I was scared of everybody in church because I grew up in a time where uh everybody could whoop you. It wasn't just mommy and daddy and grandparents. I'm talking about anybody. Like if they saw you doing something, they could whoop you, and then you still gonna get told on. And guess what? You're gonna get another whooping. Okay. So I was afraid. I was afraid of her. She was not afraid of me. There was nothing that I could do to make her afraid of me. Honestly, and I'm probably gonna lose some subscribers, so whatever. I don't think she was afraid of him. I think she did it out of love. And the reason why I say that is because I think when they were children, I go back to the alleged domestic V situation that she was in. And I think since they didn't have their father, and like I said, she probably had to pick up an extra job to work extra hours. I think she was not there as much as she wanted to be. And that's where I think this quote unquote grandmother came into play to try to help her. And I think that as he got older, he probably blamed her for some things and she just let him have his way. I know a lot of mothers like that. You know, they have to sacrifice some things and sacrifice time with their children because they have to provide. And when the children get older, they go back and blame them, but it's just like, what do you do? If you're a single parent, to me, the most important thing is making sure you're safe. And that's by making sure you have somewhere safe to live, to make sure you have food, to make sure that you're getting a good education. Of course, I love you, but love is not going to feed you. It's not going to house you. It's not going to clothe you. And so that's again why I think, conversations with your children are important. Um, and getting them in counseling is important as well. So I think she did a lot of that out of love and not the type of love that I think we would give our children by enabling them. But I think that's just what she thought was right. It's just it's twisted, but I kind of understand it. And dog mom, I kind of agree with that too. I kind of agree with that too. Yeah. Cause see, my thing is I think her harboring him all of those times when he would get in trouble in other cities and states, her letting him come back home was her way of showing him love. "I'll protect you. If you're saying you didn't do XYZ, okay, I'll protect you." Even so much so that when there was a restraining order, when he wasn't allowed to be in the house, what did she do? She kept protecting him. "Here, you can sleep in this car." Okay? That was her way of showing him love. It's twisted, but that's just what she did. Mhm. Sorry. Um, Thank you for sharing that, Bama. I think you're a wonderful person. I don't know if you know, but we've been on some of the same lives before, but I'm usually logged in on my other channel, Nell Gigi. I don't know if you remember me from that name, but we've been on Carrie's lives before. We've been on Crime Champs lives before, and I can't remember anyone else, but I remember you from those 2, and you are a beautiful person, you really are. Let's see, what is that? What? My ex-wife beat the fire out of me, bit my arm to the point you could count the cavities. Sean, I know you are being serious, but your humor I'm not supposed to laugh, but John, don't word it like that. The cavities in her front teeth, John. I am sorry you went through that, but just don't make it so I'm a chuckle, John. You want to know why? Because society looks at men as though they are just strong and they're protectors, and how dare a woman beat a man? That's not realistic. A man is not going to stand there and let a woman beat him. That's what's wrong. And that's why it happens and it gets swept under the rug. Good point. But see, that's the thing. I don't know if she was really scared or not, because I saw the video just like everybody else of Carrie, and she went outside. It wasn't reluctantly. She went outside to give him the money to go get to go get the lunch or whatever. I don't know. I don't see it as fear. I I'm not, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I don't know. I don't see it as fear. So it was court orders. Remember, his nephew had the stay away order. But like I said, I think his mother's way of protecting him and trying to show her love was, here, sleep in this car. I'll get you an extension cord so you can have heat. Here's a TV so you can be entertained. Here's lunch money when I'm not cooking, you know? Excuse me. Right. That too. That too. But think about it. Everybody on here that's a mother. If you knew your son was the SEX offender, he done put the pause on your nephew, your daughter's child that you raised, what would you do? And be honest, what would you do? Would you call the police on them every time they showed up, or would you try to help them? I want to hear what y'all got to say about that. Because a lot of people are saying that she didn't have a choice. See, we respect your opinion. We do. I know, Sparky. John, I appreciate you for coming on here and making us laugh. I really do. I'm so glad that you are here. So, were you a CEO, John? I think you said that you were. Ooh, I'm so behind in comments. I'm sorry, y'all. John is awesome. We are so lucky to have him. All right. Y'all want to go over this pre-trial risk assessment, or you want to watch another video? Y'all let me know. I still got a little time. Right, Sparky. See, that's the thing. Like, I know I had a video where I completely eviscerated Don. I had to get it out because I have 3 kids. My daughter is 16. My 2 boys are 7 and 8. And obviously, I want the best for them. I homeschool them. I do my best to keep them away from danger. I talk with them all of the time about things. My daughter as well. And I think as a mom, it's just natural for us to want to protect, but to what extent? You know what I'm saying? What extent and how far would you go to protect them? Because the mom in me is kind of like, how did she really feel in that situation? You know what I mean? Did she really feel like she was protecting him and showing him love? Or did she just not give a damn? Well, we are going to put good energy in the universe for you, John, and everything works out in your favor. Where am I at in these comments? Actually, okay, hold on. That's a blessing, Mama. That's what I'm saying. Listen, but it is just Daryl and I are the same age, though, you know? But still, my grandma just did not play. It's frowned upon nowadays with this gentle parenting, but you knew back in the 70s and 80s, you knew not to play with your parents. You knew. You did not act up in school. You didn't do none of that trash. Your parents would come up there and whoop you. You didn't talk back. We couldn't even sit in the living room during grown folks' conversation. All right. This is a different time. Okay, Louisiana. Ah, trying to see if I have another video I want to play. Hold on. I'm still here. I'm just searching for something real quick. Let's watch this real quick. This was funny to me.
Claims are here. So I may take an early lunch. If that's in your cell, then you can go get it and bring it. But without that letter, I'm not allowing this line of questioning. Do you have the letter with you in court?
I just said no. How many
Okay.
times I got to say the same thing on record?
You know, sometimes, sir, I don't hear what you say because you interrupt me so much or you answer quietly. And I'm taking notes and I'm focused on probably a dozen things at the same time.
But if I say something under my breath, everybody seems to hear it. Everybody seems to hear
In
that
a
just
quiet
fine.
courtroom, yes, we can hear it very
and
clearly.
everybody assumes that it has to be disparaging.
Once again, you're doing this tactic
because
to try to
it's not a tactic. It's
what
facts.
we're talking
It's
about
facts.
to some other reason.
It's facts. Because I find
thing.
it hard to believe that
I'm going to
all
let
of
the
a sudden
state.
nobody hears what I say.
I'm going to let the state
man,
make
stop.
a record of why they
Stop.
believe it's objectionable because I haven't let them do that. I've given you multiple opportunities to tell me why you believe it's.
I didn't get these pictures from nobody else. Why was
The
somebody
record will
else
reflect you have two pictures that you believe were from this witness.
that I know is from?
No, that you believe.
That I
That
know.
I know.
All right. I'll ask the state their position on all of this.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be admissible. One, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen them before. Two, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erica Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
that's a lie. I object to
Let
that.
the state make their argument without interruption, sir.
That's a lie, though.
three, I believe that these photographs are designed to make a suggestion to the jury that Erica Patterson is a bad mom. I think that is what the defendant is trying to do. And if we're going to go down that road, then we would be forced to counter that claim. First of all, it doesn't make her an incredible witness, if it's even true. And second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erica Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada. And for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result.
Look at Leslie.
If there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I'll object to that because that's a lie.
Let him
Because at the end of the day,
Let him
if
finish,
we're gonna open the door
Mr.
on that, no,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much,
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can open the door on how old she told me she
disrespectful,
was when we met.
interrupting.
We can ask
He's-
that
he
question
is
too. Then
over the
did you
top
ask that?
animated
Do you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state
No,
finish.
no, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back. And unless he brings that letter, and he can show it is inadmissible, he will not be questioned. And under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess, 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's open the door on all of it then, so we can get all of it on the record. Since you think you know so much, did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
Baby, he is 38 hot. Okay, so I played this video for a reason. So we know that Dawn sent her baby boy those pictures, right? So I want to go back to Maya's question. Does that change your thoughts about him? Do you think that she did the things that she did, particularly sending those pictures? Did she do that out of love or fear or what? Because we know by now, of course, she wasn't taking her tail down to that courthouse. I do not feel like the friend knew what the pictures were for. I don't. I think that because she thinks that her and Darrell are quote unquote best friends, that it was just a way to see his grandchild, given the fact that, he's in prison or in jail, even though he does not have a relationship with the little girl, excuse me, or the teenager, I should say. I don't think she knew what was going to happen with those pictures. However, his mother knew. So what do y'all think? Did she do it out of love, spite? Zach did clear him and effortlessly, okay? I think I think that's part of the reason why I set him off. That's why I go back to I'm telling y'all, he thought that since he was given privilege to represent himself and play lawyer, he thought he was on their level. And I think a part of me feels like he thinks that they were kind of cool. And so for Zach to rip him to shreds like that, okay, and as calmly as he did, baby, whew, right, right, right. Always 18. That girl ain't told you she was no dang on 18. Leslie does not play. Did you see how she was looking at the judge? Like, do you hear this? Leslie don't miss a thing ever. She sees everything, she hears everything, and she's going to tell you what she saw and what she heard. I love her. I done told you don't make me laugh like that. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. I would have lost it. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. John, you are a mess. Oh God. Lord have mercy. Okay, what? He had it with him. If he could have squared up with Darrell, he would have. And I would have been here for it. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Okay, okay, let me get it right. So Erica sent the pictures to Michelle. So Erica must have thought that Michelle was her friend too. No, boo. She ain't your friend, Erica. If you listening, that ain't your friend, honey. It ain't. And then Michelle gave him the dawn. Okay, a combo of love and fear. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I reckon Don gave them the Brooks for this reason to try and discredit Erica. And if they discredit Erica, the jury. Right. Now that makes sense because remember she was, trying to she was in cahoots with her son when he got arrested for running over her. So that makes sense too. She was sick, but she thugged it out. She thugged it out, okay? Oh, yes. Yes. She did. I gotta see if I can find a clip of that. And remember that time she snitched on him for throwing he threw something in the trash and she snitched and gave him gave Judge Doro the time. Oh God, that Daryl threw the papers in the trash. She was on it. Okay, the eyes and the ears. Oh my goodness. John, you are so funny. So did. Oh my God. You see, I'm still trying to catch my breath. You are so funny. No, and see, I think that's another reason why I played the video because I want to try to figure out if it's possible. So you would think that Dawn, this is why I just don't understand the relationship that she has with her son. Because if your ex-husband allegedly abused you the way that he did and left, and your son is abusing his quote unquote girlfriend, the mother of one of your grandchildren, why would you think that that's okay? You know what I'm saying? To protect him and do all of these things to harbor him as a fugitive. And then furthermore, if you remember when she did those interviews, or I think it was just in one of the interviews that she did with the news station, when she was like, I asked, I don't know if she even said Erica's name. I asked her, you know, did he do what you said he did? So basically just shitting in her face. Like the girl said he ran over her. It's proof he ran over her. Like, why would she make that up? But again, I think she was just thinking in the terms of a victim because that's probably what happened to her. Like nobody believed she was getting the brakes beat off of her. So now she don't believe that your son could possibly be abusing her. Like she just hates Erica and for no reason. Like, oh, all right, dog mom. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're not gonna be on here too much longer because I gotta eat a snack and go to bed. Even okay, even said what he whispered. You see his breath one day. Yep. I love Leslie too. That's right. That's right. So did. Yes. They stayed at the home at the beginning of what? So did he go? So y'all, did he drive the red SUV to Nevada to go get her and bring her back to Milwaukee? Or how did he go and get her from where she was at? Does anybody know? Oh. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Leslie was probably a little snitch in school. Okay, probably ain't had no friends or nothing, just snitching. The only thing I have left is this pretrial assessment, but we don't have to go over it because it really doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody was responsible for letting him out. Nobody, yeah, everybody was responsible. So I just thought maybe somebody would be interested in seeing it, but I can incorporate it in another video that I'm doing, so I don't have to show it. She said he was even reading from the report by the girl. She sure was. She coming for Sue Opera. Sue Opera probably needs to retire because every day of that trial, she looked so doggone tired. She wasn't here for nobody's mess, okay? She barely smiled. Po thing didn't comb her hair. She got grocery bags under her eyes. She is just through. She needs to go ahead and retire and let Leslie have that spot because she ain't playing with nobody. Nobody. Let me see if I can find another funny one real quick, and then I'm gonna let y'all go ahead on. Oh God, what's another funny one, y'all? Oh, John, I am still laughing. You are so funny. Let me see. Maybe this one was. Let me see. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Appear to be accurate.
Objection.
Overruled.
Speculative.
Yes, that is accurate.
For the record, the objection was overruled.
This is a 20-second
Okay,
clip.
hold on.
I'm
Wait a
gonna
minute.
ask that we play it once with audio.
Let me read this. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Okay. This is a really good chat about the case of different Ruth. It is. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all make me better, okay? Y'all so smart and funny. Opera is returning at the end of the year. Oh, well, go ahead and get that thing over to Leslie. Please, I hope they do. Oh, she did retire? Honey, because she was looking tired. She was amazing too, though. She just no nonsense. You know what I mean? Oh, she sent him a bus ticket. She sent her hold on. She sent him a bus ticket to Georgia where she lives. He caught a DV charge. Both of them went to his mom's house. Oh, she sent him a bus ticket. That's right, because they fought in the hotel, right? No. Didn't he hold on. Didn't he find her at the hotel and then hell, I don't know. It's so much I can't keep up. Bama, you know. He caught a DV charge. Both went to his mom's lived in a tent. A tent. Oh God. Lord have mercy. Oh, see, this is where I feel that Don holds blame. I think Dawn is mostly responsible for all of the times that she harbored a fugitive. I think that she is responsible for after he pow-powed at his nephew, letting him be anywhere near them again. That showed me how dangerous he is, if not already by the crimes that he already committed. It showed me that he doesn't give a doggone who he's gonna pow-pow at. Okay, and I can't say the word on here. I think that she's responsible for allowing easy access to the car as he felt he needed, but that's where it stops. And I feel that she's responsible for allowing him to use the vehicle to harass Erica and providing a phone for him to harass Erica. I don't think that she is responsible for him driving through the parade. And I know a lot of people disagree, and that's cool. But it's the same as if I asked one of y'all, "Can I borrow y'all car to go to McDonald's?" And y'all say, "Yeah." And instead of me going to McDonald's, I go hold up a bank and unalive somebody. Y'all wouldn't want to be blamed for that either. In fact, you wouldn't be responsible because I told you I was going to McDonald's. Now, I don't know what he told his mama where he was going, uh, with this car on the day of the parade. I've seen people say that, she told him to go get the money from Erica. Erica said that that wasn't true. I know for a fact she gave him lunch money, so she knew at some point he was going to be leaving in the car. Um, So it's unclear, or either I haven't seen it. I try not to go off of speculation or what other people say. I like to see it for myself. So I don't know for certain if she knew that he was going to go meet up with Erica. But if she knew, yes, she should be responsible for that part as well. But that's where it ends for me. I can't say she's responsible for him choosing to drive through the parade. Yes. If she could have took over for Judge Doro, I believe she would have. She was sick of Judge Doro too. I appreciate you, John. I do. Oh, well, good for her. She got a little bit more time. The dancing granny when she said, I don't have the eyes in the back of my head. Yes. Oh, she is my favorite. And he was just looking like a fool. Objection. Speculative. Y'all speculate. It was Stephanie and Marcus. Yeah, Detective Casey retired. I mean, and went out with a bang, didn't he? I love that. I didn't agree. I don't agree to an estoppel. Oh God. I didn't know nothing. See, let me tell y'all something. I gotta get a I reached out. I gotta email Miss Carrie to see if she can show me how to put in a FOIA request so I can get some of the documents. Um, so I can read some of this stuff. I think somebody else told me they were living in a tent and then went to the car. Oh my God, who lives in a tent? They were staying in a hotel. Right. I remember she said that she got sick of him and she went to the hotel and then he went up there to harass her some more. Okay. I drink Cobra. That's why there's a big spider. I am just done. Who put the tent up, y'all? Was it Don or Zarel? Who put that tent up back there for him? Poor Erica. He point what? Now I know he put the paws on her in the kitchen. I didn't know. Lord, Lord. No, she lied and said he stole. Right, but you know what? The reason why I had spoke about it briefly in my last video. So in Wisconsin, if somebody usually if let me slow down. If somebody uses your car as a weapon and go commit a crime, a deadly crime, if you report the car stolen, you won't be held criminally liable. And that's why she did that. So Dawn was quick on her feet. Okay. So she called and said, I think that was my car. She knew that was her car that he stole. But my thing was, excuse me, my thing was, gosh, what was I gonna say? She knew he didn't steal that car. He had access to it. He been driving it. And why did you give him the money to go get some lunch? Because you weren't cooking that day. But that's not enough to go to a prosecutor and say, "Oh, well, I think that she let him, drive the car to go XYZ." Unfortunately. So she was quick on her feet. She knew to call and say that he stole the car, so they couldn't come for her. Right, Marcus is Moo, right? Lord Moo. They came to Wisconsin because he had a charge for hitting her, made her. Bama knows a lot more about this case than I do. Um, I'm not as, well versed as a lot of my other subscribers and other channels. I haven't gotten there yet, but I believe so. Oh, hey Mika. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to hook up with her to see if she can show me how to put in a FOIA request because I know you got to get like case numbers from one site and then request them on another site. And child, I don't know. She's really cool though. I have her email address, so maybe she can hold my little hand and help me. Let's see. All right. Erica says they came for 2 weeks to visit his family. Right. The daughter was supposed to come, but she said no. Right. But see, I thought I heard her say too that I know he never had a relationship with the daughter. In fact, when she was carrying the child, he put a GUN to her belly at one point or whatever. And I know Erica has said that Darrell has said that he didn't want anything to do with her because she's a disrespectful ass little child or something like that. I don't know, child. I watched the trial when it was live and watched several versions daily. Okay, Bama. I appreciate you, okay, for filling in the blanks because this stuff, after a while, it just runs together. And it's just like, who said what, when, and they did what, why? I don't know. The way that I'm trying to approach this is more so from a legal aspect, and just try to, break down as much of it as I can. And I love when you guys fill in the facts because we all, in this together. We can all work together and get this done. Get the police report from Nevada. Get them from Nevada. Okay. I gotta look up I think I wrote down the case numbers for um the charges that he had in Nevada. And now I probably just have to call the clerk of courts and get like an itemized list or whatever of what I can get and then go from there. Right. I watched that interview too. Yeah, but girl, I don't forgot. I really just don't like the real. Yeah, we gotta love everybody, but we don't have to like everybody. That's okay. We don't have to like everybody's actions. That's okay. But he's a piece of crap. He is. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this.
Audio.
Hey, I called an Uber and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call it for me, please? I'm homeless.
Can we pull that back up just to look at the timestamp?
Okay, again. So y'all know his mama called for Uber, right? Do y'all think that she did that out of love or fear? After she reported, this is the last one I'm gonna play, and then we gonna peace out. After she called her car in stolen, he called her. Was it twice? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And asked for an Uber. Which one was it? Did she love baby Zarel? Was she protecting him? Was she fearful? Because I really believe that, had the police not shown up when they did, I think he would have got away for a little bit, y'all. I really do. I do. He was about to hightail it back to Milwaukee. And I'm just wondering, I'm really questioning what kind of woman Dawn is. Like, it just infuriates me. Like, at this point, I love my kids, but at this point, no, because the problem is she better be glad that the police did arrest him when they did because she would have went to prison herself for harboring a fugitive. That's really aiding and abetting, okay? You gotta draw the line at some point. What this say? He left 2 bags of Mary Jane on Ryder's porch that night. What? Oh my lord. Oh, thank you, Denise. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I appreciate you. Now, this is one out of love. Oh, Maya, I just don't know what to think. But it's just like, okay, 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 okay. So, okay, hold on. So people recorded. Hold on. Let me just try to get my thoughts together. People recorded him flying down the parade, and I'm more than positive. In fact, I know it's true that people posted it to social media. When did she learn of it? Because I listened to the 911 calls more than I probably should have, especially her part. But I remember at some point in a 911 calls, the media was reaching out to see when they can get information and when they can set up to start, interviewing and putting out information to the public. So when did she see it? And where did she see it? And how did she know that it was him? Does anybody know? When did she see that it was her car? Because that's not the only uh Ford Escape. He was in a different city. You didn't know it was him right away until you saw that last photo when he got like to the band and you saw like his profile with the hood up. And I'm assuming that that wasn't released immediately. I don't think. So I wonder at what point did she see that it was her son and she called in to the police. She called in at 5:44 to report her car stolen. It wasn't on the news right away. Thank you, Bama. Thank you so much. I think she did it out of love, but I also think Don was tired of his shenanigans. Could be. See, she does work at one of the hospitals, but that would be after. So, like, when she called into 911, she was leaving her home or in the process, she was getting ready for work. She works night shift. I'm assuming 7 to 7, right? And so, people are quick to put stuff on social media. But if you remember, the very first video that we have is just him flying by that and almost hitting that little girl. Remember? You did not see his face. You just saw the side of the car because somebody was sitting down, recording a little girl, dancing and playing or whatever. And then we didn't see when he hit the dancing grannies. That wasn't made available to us. And then the next video that I remember seeing is from an angle where somebody was, I guess, on the driver's side, if I can describe it correctly, and he flew by, and you saw the cop chasing him. And then the next video I recall was, I don't remember. I guess it was it the dance team. I hope I'm going in the right order. And he plowed through them, but you didn't see him. You just saw the dancers kinda like, trying to get out of the way, and then I remember the next view was an aerial view, so now we're on top of the parade, and you see him start to plow through the band members, and then finally you see his profile. Somebody was able to get a good snapshot of him when he was plowing through that, band, and at the end, and you got the view of him with his hood on, and then you got another view with the window down. And he never, of course, looked out the window. We didn't see any footage of that, but that was just a picture. So at what point did she see him and say, he stole my car? She worked, yep. The hospital is Freuders and it's 14 miles from Waukesha. And some of the victims from the parade did actually get admitted there, which is just crazy. Okay, let's see what Brandy got to say. To hear his mother blame everyone but Zarel and herself just makes me sick. In my opinion, his mother is just as horrible of a person as he is. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do. And another thing I thought about, she acknowledged the victims um, when she reached out to the media. She never once said anything about Erica. Not once. My prayers go out to the victims of the parade. She never said anything to Erica. Okay, Dawn threw him under the bus. She reported the escape stolen. She gave Detective Casey the video of him in the backyard and told him about his social media accounts. But see, I'm wondering if I don't want to say threatened her, but if they told her what type of trouble she would be in if she didn't. I think that's the only reason she did that. I think, like I said, I think she just needs to cover her ass as far as saying that the car was stolen. But the other stuff, I think they probably told her like, listen, if you know something and you're not telling us, that's your ass. I don't think she would have did it voluntarily. Was watching a live stream on Facebook. Maybe. Could be. I don't know. Hey, listen, it could, you never know. I'm just wondering. Like the timeline just doesn't, a coworker friend that was at the parade. All right, good night, Maya. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon. Let's see. Apparently, they had to change Dawn's position in the hospital because she was being hounded. Well, that's on her. What she want us to do? You let this happen all of these years. You kept letting him get worse and worse and worse. So, mhm. See, she was just riding both sides of the fence, I think. She didn't want her son to think that she was cooperative with them because to him, he's so paranoid about everything. That would make it look like, you betraying me, ma, or whatever. So she had to play both sides of the fence. Okay, I'm gonna help you with your case, but on the side, I gotta let them know what I know because I'm not about to go to jail for you. And then she repeatedly told 911 she had to go to work. She couldn't be put on hold. Right. She was at home. And that's why I said that, he didn't steal the car because, again, if we watch Miss Carrie's video, there's a video of her going outside to give him a piece of change to go get some lunch, right? Okay. She knew at some point he was going to drive that car to go get some lunch. He got to have a key to start it up. Okay, so maybe he chose not to get the lunch. Instead, he chose to go do what he did, go harass Erica. He gotta go in either he had to go in the house to get the key or he already had the keys. So no, he didn't steal it, Dawn. He didn't steal it. And yeah, she kept telling them, the first call was the red SUV. I think what he so she said, I think the red SUV that was in the parade, I think that's my son. He stole it. Then she gave all of his information. And then the man said, hold on. She was like, I can't keep holding. I gotta go to work. Okay, well then but still, you gotta go to work. But you accepted Darrell's phone calls a couple of times to get the hell out of there. I heard she sold her house and changed jobs. Well, but you know what though? She's still in Milwaukee though, because well, no, wait. Where is Erica in Milwaukee or is she in Waukesha? Because her video she said that she saw Dawn and Dawn walked right past her, didn't say anything to her. So I don't know where that child living at. Ain't no telling. Let me see. Can you imagine being at work and someone comes up to you showing you a video? Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I don't know what I would say. What can you say? You know? What can you say to that? And not only that, the way he acted a fool the whole trial, you know, I would just be so embarrassed. Dawn has nothing. There is no legacy. She leaves nothing. Like, unfortunately, your daughter died, and then now your son is just nothing now. Nothing. Maybe your nephew will be all right, and your grandson and granddaughter. Unfortunately, her grandson, she must not have any type of relationship with any of his children either, though. Your eldest grandson, he's going through something. I heard that the little girl that not Arsenaway, excuse me, she's had a baby, and then um the other little girl, Iowa, somebody said that she's in foster care. Like, come on. Exactly. She knew he had a dang car. I guess she had no clue he was going. Right. Erica was in Waukesha, right? And see, that's the thing. Like I said, like I agree with you, Brandy, as far as, she knew, I think she knew that, you know, uh he was gonna meet Erica. And I think he probably told her, like, yeah, mom, I'm gonna go make her give me the money to pay you back for the bail. I do believe that. But unfortunately, the laws in this country are just so outdated, and that's why she will get away with probably some of the things that we think that she should be charged with, such as letting somebody without a license drive your car. That should be a crime, a low-level offense. You knowingly gave this person access to your car knowing that they didn't have any type of insurance or a driver's license. But it's sad all the way around. Like Dawn will always be trash to me. I don't want y'all to think that I'm taking up for her. I'm not. I don't agree with anything that she says, that she does, that she stands for. Okay. Um yeah, she's trash. She raised a trash ass son and she's trash, and that's just that. So I'm not taking up for her. I'm just saying, per the law, she knew, like her son, she knew the right buzzwords to say to get herself out of trouble. John wanted some money from Erica from when she fell. Well, and you still ain't got it. So now what? Dawn is weak, in my opinion. I think that she's envious of Erica because even though Erica has been through what she's been through, she's still very strong. She's intelligent and she has the will to persevere despite of all of her shortcomings, okay? Like I said, somebody that went through what she went through, you're in a completely different state and you were smart enough to keep your license active so you could still have a job. Dawn does not like that. She wants her to be fearful and cower out, if that's the right word. It's getting late, and just dummy down so that her son can look good and it can make it look like Erica provoked him. But that's not the case here. It's not. And that's why I will never respect Dawn ever in my life. Mm-mm. Nope. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up. I'm going to give y'all a couple of more minutes. Dawn has never. Nope. She's trash. Like, Dawn is just, there's no other words for her. Like, for you to get up and put your winter coat on and stand out in the cold and tell me how I should treat someone with mental illness when you haven't done anything to help your son with anything ever in life as it relates to his poor behavior or ever hold him accountable for anything, I can't respect. I have no respect for you. All you did was birth your children. You didn't do anything beyond that, and it shows. It's a difference between you pouring into your children and them deciding to go off and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. I don't believe she ever did anything for them. You gave them somewhere to live and something to eat. Okay. You supposed to do that. What else did you do? What else did you do for them? To make excuses. It is all very sad. I really do feel bad for the kids and the family. It's not their fault. I feel bad, and I think that's why Xavier, unfortunately, I think he probably got some unwanted attention, and that's why he tried to unalive himself. And fortunately, he was set free. So hopefully, he is given the help that he needs so that he can overcome whatever it is he's going through and turn his life around. The little girl that's in foster care, I hope that she can find, or a family can find her and give her the love and the nurturing that she deserves, and she can grow up and get the counseling that she's going to need. Okay, and are sent away. I hope that her relationship with her mother, Erica, flourishes. And I hope she knows that, you are a young mother, but it doesn't end there. You still have life that you can live and do well out here in this world. I just hope that they're not ridiculed to death because of who their father is, unfortunately. So the timeline, Bama probably can back me up. Let me see. I was wondering what the timeline. Was he calling for the Uber? She was wondering why when he should have the escape, then working at the hospital. Okay. So from my understanding, Bama, back me up, please, if you don't mind. Okay. So I think it was like around noon or whatever. No, I think when she got home from work, she went outside. She gave him the lunch money. She was like, "I'm not cooking." She still had her head wrap on and all that. She went in the house. I can't remember what time he left, but there is video surveillance of him leaving the house, and then he went to meet Erica. They got into a scuffle. I think he plowed through the parade around 4:30, between 4:30 and 4:45. He took off on foot. I want to say he called her after he ditched the car. He had to find somebody's phone to use. I think he called her first, and then she called in that the car was stolen. And then he found somebody else. He used Daniel's phone to check on the Uber, right? All while trying to get to work. Bama, please back me up. I think I got that right. Oh, but you don't know. It was all Erica's fault. Yeah, she drank that one Mike's Hard Lemonade and she was busted. Okay. And was about to get put out the shelter. Let's not forget that. I agree with you, Sparky. I don't think she should have ever went to the news. Don't what are you going on there for? Dawn went on there to clear her name. Don't go on the news. And at the sentencing, yeah, say something, but not no poem. And I don't want to hear nothing about no mental. I can Google that. I don't need you telling me anything about that. You couldn't find one good thing to say about your. This is a sentencing hearing. You couldn't come up with one thing to say about your son. Nothing. The grandma either. No, she never showed remorse. And you apologizing ain't remorse because in the same breath, you telling me how ill your son is and it doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter. Uh-oh, my name is Don Woods and I smoked this message. Nah, but John. The Uber didn't get there immediately. He knew he was right, right, because he had to make two calls. So, oh God, let me remember the guy on the stand. What did he say? Because the guy waited for him at the place where he was trying to get warm, but the door wasn't open. So he went to Daniel's house to call his mama to see where the Uber was because he wasn't able to track the Uber because he didn't have a phone. And his mom ordered the Uber. See, that's why I think they need to. Brandy, you still in here? That I feel like she should be held criminally liable for. But I guess because he wasn't able to get away, that's why they couldn't charge her with aiding and abetting. Because he wasn't able to actually get away. I would have to look at the elements for that particular charge again. That she could have been held responsible for because you were trying to help him flee the scene of a crime. I'll have to look that up again. The reason of that poem in the context of this girl. Sparky, are you a male or female? I don't want to keep saying girl if you're not a girl. It's just a habit. I'm sorry. I gotta go to bed. Darrell said his son joined the military. He did when he planned to shoot pow pow at his nephew. And recently, Erica said her daughter was interested in joining the military. Yes. Now the son is not in the military. His son is not. His son just got let out on probation because he tried to unalive himself. And I think he was having a mental health episode. And his mom had to call the police, but they did give him probation and he has to get mental health treatment. So he's not he ain't in no military girl. I think you know what? I said this earlier. I'm working on like 15 videos at a time because I can't make up my mind what I want to do. Because I read through all of y'all's comments and it's like, oh, that'd be a good idea. That'd be a good idea. I want to cover the interrogation, but it is not gonna be no 10-hour video. I'm not doing that. So we already know the interrogation is like 4 hours. So it'll probably just be 4 parts when I want to go through it step by step, just break it down all the way, starting with the technique that Detective Carpenter chose to use, and just try to go from that. So I want to do that, but I think before that, I want to respond to the poll I put up about how I would, if I was a defense attorney, try to defend him. I have no desire to be a defense attorney. You know, if God sees fit to bless me with the wherewithal to become a lawyer, I would be a prosecuting attorney. Okay. Because I can't do that. But just for fun, I want to go through all of the different defenses that the defense attorneys could have used and see what I come up with. So that's gonna be my next video. Um, but yeah, maybe after, depending upon how well he does with his treatment, he can join the military. And I do hope that Erica's daughter does join the military. That would be amazing for her and her baby. They will take such good care of her. Female, okay, girl. Okay, girl, because I say girl a lot. Rena grandma dropped the roll when he realized he wasn't on a profit. And see, that's my issue, the issue that I have with her, because she said that she said that it was mental health was in her family for generations, right? So why did it take this tragedy for you to say, "Oh, I'm getting ready to be a counselor," or whatnot? And so now you got to sit up here and boast and brag about being a counselor and you want to help people. Girl, I can't stand that grandma at all. Darrell is a liar. That's gonna be part of my interrogation. I'm telling y'all. Darrell went in there. He knew what was stacked against him. He knew what he did. All right. There was no sudden shift in his mental status. It wasn't altered at all. But he had to play a game with the detectives. Okay. So he had to see what their approaches are going to be. You gonna use the read technique on me? Is it good cop, bad cop? What are we going with here? Okay. Oh, you just want to interview me and see who I am? Oh, shoot, I'm this amazing father. I had him on the back end of the week. I was working, but I got laid off. I got two friends that I was down here staying with, and me and my baby's mom, I want to marry her, but sometimes she be drunk. I mean, trying to just paint himself as just a pillar of the community, okay? I have never in my life the self-indulgent behavior. I can't stand the grandma. The good Dr. Mary, Darlene Edwards. Okay, no blood at all. So this is when they were in Detroit, right? So she helped with Lil Darrell, but she ain't do too much helping because look what happened. Oh, hold on. I am looking forward to your defense one. All the crap we give the trial. It would have been really interesting to see what a real trial. I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to it too. It is going to be a lot of work. Um, I want to make sure I take my time with that one. So it probably won't be out until, if y'all want to go live Saturday, let me know because it probably will be fun to do it, as a live, just have like live reaction to it. So if that's the case, I'll save that video until Saturday so we can all go live like Saturday night or whatever. And then, excuse me, I'll just put out another video of something else that I have written down. Let's see. Oh, I'm having some acid reflux. We all know that the family isn't limited to blood, but she just wanted to. That's all she wanted to do. So much so that she put it on the website, on one of her websites, about her grandson lost his mind and plowed through the parade. All right, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all like 6 or 7 more minutes. We gonna wrap this thing up because what time is it? It's 11:20. I don't want to hold y'all too much longer, but I've had a good time with y'all. I'm so glad that I'm feeling better. Um, let's see how many Look, I cannot talk. How many subscribers we have right now, y'all. This is always fun to me. Oh, we got 457. Let me tell y'all something. I put out my first video 4 weeks ago. I did a video on Takia Young. I don't know if y'all heard of her. She is from my home state, Ohio. And she made a poor choice, and the police did too, and it was terrible. But anyway, I put up a video 4 weeks ago, and I don't know, my A1 day ones, my ride or dies. I told y'all I only wanted 25 subscribers for the month of October. I was not going to put too much on myself. I was not trying to stress out about subscribers. And I have been blessed with 457 of y'all. It is amazing. I don't take it for granted at all. I want y'all to know that I don't. I don't. I appreciate everybody for stopping through and interacting with me on my videos, the good and the bad. It really does encourage me. I started this channel because I re-enrolled in school. I my background is healthcare, and so I did that for 16 years. I was a phlebotomist, a medical assistant. I've worked in different sectors related to healthcare, and eventually my body said that's enough, and so I took some time off, and I got really, really vested in true crime. Okay, and originally it was from documentaries, and that wasn't enough. I needed more. So I would go on YouTube and I would find interrogations. And so then that led me to, wanting to know more because you're only going to get so much from an interrogation. And then before I knew it, I was just deep into it. Okay. I couldn't get enough of it at all. And so my daughter, my beautiful daughter said, you know what? You have been talking about a YouTube channel for a long time. I think you should start a true crime channel. But I didn't want it to be like other channels. Like I didn't want to just put, interrogations up and, no commentary or post trials or whatever the case may be. Everybody has a right to do what they wanted to do, but I wanted to do something different. And so by that time, I had enrolled in school for paralegal studies. And then I recently added on the two other majors. And I was just like, oh, maybe I could use what I learned in school, to break down these cases. And that'll be, some new flavor to YouTube or whatever. And here we are. So I thank y'all so much. 457 of you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, Debbie. Don Woods kept talking about Zarel needed help in her court statement. She's his mother. Exactly. I think we all feel that way. Why you ain't do it? Because I ain't doing it. Time change. Oh. So, okay. Okay. So, wait a minute. So, what's a good time for y'all? 8 o'clock? I don't really do too much anymore. Those days are over for me. I like to go out during the daytime. I don't do much at night. Y'all let me know. 8 o'clock, good. 9 o'clock. Bye, John. Thank you for coming. Oh, thank you, Sparky. You know what I think for a lot of people is therapeutic? I think just to see someone who is so full of themselves just get beat down to nothing before all of us. Um, a lot of people I've seen said that it's like watching a bully get bullied and put in their place. Um, and it's comedic too. The tragedy itself is not funny. I'm not saying that, but just watching him, it's comedic for a lot of us. It is in a weird way. So, but I thank you so much, Sparky. You're one of my A1 day ones, my ride or dies. I appreciate you. I really do. Yeah, it's her responsibility. I don't feel sorry for Dawn at all. Not at all. She said society, Debbie. Society. We as a society, all right, should have taken care of her. Baby boy, Darrell Edward Brooks Jr. Okay? Because we kept mental illness as a dirty little secret and let him fall through the cracks. Okay? Ah. Thank you so much, Mika. Oh, fellow future paralegal. Yes, it's amazing. I love learning about the law. I never thought that I would. It's intimidating for a lot of people, but I love it. I love the fact that I was able to find a second career. A lot of people are not fortunate, to do so. And so I love it. Thank you so much. Y'all, it means a lot to me. I work hard, okay, on these videos. I really do. It's not easy. Everyone, I love y'all. Everyone is amazing. I have an amazing group of subscribers. I really do. I do. I've never seen this type of person before. None of us have, and I think that's why we can't turn away. Because who and see this is the thing. Like any attorney, of course they would have been held in contempt of court. But I don't want to say that she couldn't, but she just had to be very careful with him because she knew what would happen. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, she just let him get away with too much." It was a method to her madness. All right. She knew she had a plan going in. All of them had a plan. So it wasn't like she was just, sitting back like, okay, well, I'm just gonna let him do what I want to do. Judge Doro is no punk. Okay. She is very smart. She's very smart. But I think that's why we cannot turn away because it is just madness every day with something. No, that's what I was gonna do. Okay, so here we go, y'all. Let me think about something real quick. What's today? Tuesday, Monday? What is this? This is tomorrow. I have to take my kids. My husband and I are taking the kids we made out trick or treating, and I have to homeschool them during the day. So I might be able to get my notes written down for the actual video, and then I can record it Wednesday. And that video is gonna be about, the final pretrial hearing when he lied and said he had COVID, okay? That's the next video. And then the rest of the week, I'll probably put out one more video, and then Saturday, once y'all tell me what time, because I ain't seen nothing. Once y'all tell me what time, or I'll just have to pick it, I guess, to go live on Saturday, we'll do the defense strategy. And you welcome, Sparky. I started out as a legal secretary, first job out of high school, not paralegal. I've always been fascinated by the law, but it wasn't for me too much. You know what? For me, I think it takes a lot of wit. I think is basic knowledge of the law. That's the thing. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know the basics. You can always look up information, and depending on what side you want to go with, you just have to be, one step ahead. So, like prosecution, I think they always have it the hardest because they're responsible for, proving it beyond a reasonable oh, I can't even talk. Proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So they have the burden of proof. They have to come up with all of the evidence. They have to make sure they get all of their witnesses in order. All of this stuff bears on them. They can't miss anything because once the defense has an opportunity to find a loophole, that is it. They can dismantle the whole thing. So I guess it just depends what area of law and if you want to do litigation. But, what'd you say you were doing again? I'm sorry. Not criminology, social work and something. You said double major. But social work is cool. Look, social work is an important job. They need social workers. They sure do. I was clapping, cheering, and crying. He was just listen, we're not gonna get into that, Bama, because we are already 3 hours in. But I was clapping, cheering, and crying. Oh, okay. Oh, he's a law enforcement officer? Judge Doyle ain't playing with y'all. Mm-mm. She's doing that new case with that Visine trial. I'm not gonna watch that until the end, until I can have, all of the facts. I don't really like to do anything before, I have access to more information. So that'll probably be something I could do later on. All right. Any final thoughts, you guys? We've been on here for 3 hours. I done coughed all in y'all ear, sniff, everything I can think of. I had a great time. I'm so glad everybody came to see me. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who prayed for me while I was sick. Well wishes while I was sick. I feel so much better. Hopefully I don't get sick anymore anytime soon because I don't know. That was a different type of cold. It wasn't COVID, but it wasn't a cold. So I don't know what's going on, but I will see y'all later. I will try to have the next video up on Wednesday evening. As always, leave me some comments, good or bad, I don't care. Tell your family, friends about me. I did pin my Cash App, not because I'm begging, but because I had people ask me before about my Cash App. And so it is there. If you don't want to use that one, it is on my About page. Do know that if you choose to donate, it will be used for FOIA requests and equipment for my channel because I want to see us grow. But I ain't begging y'all or nothing like that. So that's about it. All right. I appreciate y'all. 457 of y'all that have subscribed. I will see y'all next time. Be easy. Peace.